Is that fucking wild?
Doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up, dude. Something fucky going on with social right now across all socials.
And on that note, Gerard, we are live.
Yeah, dude. What's happening, everybody? Are we live? Let me do live on the Tiki-Taki. I'm live in your ear holes here. I am Gerard Michaels. Back from a 2-week hiatus. I've been on tour. Happy to be back today. We were going to go live on Tuesday, but you know what? We just decided to keep the Friday thing going. And I am here with... if I am Batman, this is the Robin. Which Robin are you? You're probably the Jason Todd Robin, the badass Robin, the Red Hood Robin.
Yeah, the cool one.
You're the cool Robin, right? You're not Dick Grayson.
No. I don't know which. I don't get these references because you're Batman. I've been too busy banging chicks.
You've been banging chicks,
so I don't watch cartoons. So.
Yeah, and that right there is not the voice of God, ladies and gentlemen. That is the producer extraordinaire, David the Commie.
Thank you.
Also known as Detective Dullite. What does Detective Dullite mean anyway? So
Detective Dullite is from a Of Montreal song.
Oh my God, this is so boring already. Okay, so if you guys think
guy doesn't even use his real last name.
If you think Detective Dullite should change his handle to David the Commie, you let him know at Detective Dullite. Say this is dumb, and change it to David the Commie immediately. Good branding.
I appreciate that, and I will take every comment, with constructive criticism, and I just won't do it. Because I don't like people telling me what to do, which I feel like you would appreciate.
I do appreciate that. I do like that about you. Now, David, we have a ton of topics we're going to cover today. An absolute ton of topics. We got Brittany Griner. I, by the way, have studied up, and I can name you way more than 3 WNBA teams now.
Good. Let's hear it.
I've the Phoenix Mercury. That's a team.
You're making that up.
I don't know. The Connecticut Sun. Shit, I forgot them. I got asked, somebody sent me the other day, they sent me a thing, and they were like, how many of the pride flags can you name?
What?
Yeah, I made it.
Wait, what do you mean, how many of them? Yeah. How many are there?
Oh, there's 1,000 pride flags. And I,
1,000? Yeah, I thought there was just one.
I got there's like 1,000. Like the one flag is like an amalgamation of all their flags, which I had two things. I got a little snarky with them. I really did. I got a little snarky. I was like, you know what? I got to tell you, it's a little obnoxious to me that you guys have figured out every single color combination in the world to celebrate, except red, white, and blue.
Oh,
pisses me off.
Oh, come off it, mate.
Pisses. You know what? You know what number 2 about it was? Where I was like, why did you guys use nothing but straight lines?
Oh my God!
Like, get some squiggles in there. Get some asymmetrical lines. Get some lines that they change in the sun. Get some non-binary lines going on there, man. All these lines are
non-binary.
They're equilateral and they're straight, and I just think that's look at David. What I'm trying to say is representation matters. Okay.
I just don't get the 1,000 flags thing. Why do they have so many flags?
I don't know. You know what? And as a fat person, I shouldn't have laughed at this, but
oh no!
But a friend of mine said he sent me a chart, and the chart was an XY axis of the higher your BMI, the more likely you are to have pronouns in your bio. So
oh no!
Yeah. Hey, listen,
Gerard, what are your pronouns?
That's an inconvertible truth. My pronouns are structured by the English language that we all listen to and learn from.
So he, him?
Yeah, not only that, the pronoun thing was always interesting to me because it's really, really talking about nostalgia. And like back in my day, we were talking the other day about, when was the last time bread was brought to your table? Like, me and my friends were bitching and moaning about like how bad COVID has made customer service, and this all started with a 57-cent charge, a service charge to use a credit card at the diner up the block here. I'm not going to say its name, but I was like, so I called the owner over and I was like, look, I just got to let you know, I love this place. I'm going to come back, but this pisses me off to no end. She was like, yeah, well, I know. I was like, the 57 cents.
For bread?
No. The service charge for paying.
Oh, excuse me.
So to use a credit card, they're charging you the 57 cents or whatever it is.
Would normally.
That MasterCard is charging them. And I'm like, I got to tell you guys, like MasterCard charges me to use the card. I get interest. And you are charging me to use the card. Like, I'm probably just going to go somewhere else. And you're like, well, everybody's going to do it. They're just not going to put it on the bill. Yeah, they're just not putting it on the bill because the processors have all raised their prices. One, great idea, guys. Get in that margin game. Anybody who gets in the margin game, no matter what recession or depression is happening, the cat's out the bag. You know, the fact that Grubhub all but doubles the price of your food, there's got to be millions and millions of dollars to be made in the margins there. There has to be millions of dollars to be made in the margins there. Like a flat fee delivery service, I feel like would make so much money. Like call it $10delivery.com or something like that. And it's $10 regardless, right? So anyway, the service fee, I'm telling her, I was like, it's just the nickel and diming. You understand? Like the service here isn't great. You know, it's like 20% off. You know, the prices have gone up. So that means your 20% tip goes up because you got to pay taxes and all this other stuff. And then you're charging me a service fee on top. I got to be honest with you. Like that 57 cents makes me never want to come back here.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, and we were talking about, we're sitting there at the table, you know, doing our little, you know, bitching over our coffee. And we're like, dude, when was the last time bread was brought to your table? Like without you asking. Like when I was growing up, that was like a staple. You sit down at the table before your assie's even making an indent in the seat. There's bread on the table. Now we could talk about whether or not America should have been eating a loaf of bread before appetizers. We can talk about that. But it was just the service aspect of it. Warm bread sitting down on the table waiting for you every time, every restaurant, like crazy. Like, you know, there was salad bars all the time at all these restaurants. Talk about the hygiene of them all you want, but it was like, oh, you can eat salad. They're like, we don't care. Now you try to eat a salad, it's like $17. You know, like there's just like,
and there's bacon in it.
There's these little quality of life things that have gone down, and they're noticeable and appreciably down. You know, cell phones, for as much as they've done for us, and I live on my phone. You know, we talk all the time late at night. We talk business. We get phone calls. Our old company used to have meetings at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, insane stuff. When I was growing up, if somebody called our house on our landline phone at 7 o'clock at night, my father blew a gasket.
Yeah.
Who the is calling at this hour?
Yeah.
You know, pick up the phone. God forbid you were a telemarketer calling at 7 o'clock at night. This dude would roll through you, man. I'm going to find out where you are. I'm going to find out where you live. And I'm going to come to your house. And I'm going to burn it down during dinner time. Like that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he would get,
fucking poor guy making $3 off commission. He's like,
yeah, but he's like, oh, you know, yeah. But
no, but
that
I get
was
that. It was the same for me growing up, believe it or not. It was like, I was always told whenever I wanted to call a buddy, it was like, it's getting late. It's getting close to 7, 8. Don't call past 8. That's rude.
For real. For real.
And that was the thing.
On top of it, if my friends were the ones that were calling, and if they called my father.
It wouldn't happen.
If they called my father anything but Mr. Heron on the phone.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro. You know, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Big G? Is Gerard there? Big G. Who the fuck is this? Oh, no, it's Danny. Danny, I'm Mr. Heron. All right? Bro. Yeah, I'll put my son on the line. Hey, Gerard, call it across the house. Gerard, it's your dickhead friend who doesn't know how to talk to adults. That's how he'd call, you know? Now, I'm not saying everything from back then was better, because it wasn't.
This is getting real close to Make America Great Again.
But, dude, I think what happens is that we've taken the things that were wrong from yesteryear, and we are using it or we're allowing it to be used to disqualify everything that may have been good and better. There's a certain amount of respect that we don't have for each other in today's culture. So, you know, we have to ask people what their pronouns are, but when was the last time you called somebody Mr. or Mrs. XYZ? You know, and when was the last time you saw somebody do it? And the younger generation's even worse. I was over at my friend's house, and, you know, he's got younger kids. And the kids, when I say younger, I'm talking like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. 13 years old. They're like old enough to know, right? And they're downstairs. They're in the basement. So these kids come in, and they just like walk past the adults. First of all, they're just like, hey, and they're like really shy. Yeah. And then they go downstairs and you hear all this laughing and stuff like that. And they'll order food like DoorDash, Uber Eats.
The kids?
No food for the adults, no nothing. Like, no speak to anybody, and then they'll just leave. And I was like, this is the wildest shit ever.
No, it is.
Because when I was growing up, right, again, if I had done anything remotely similar to that, I feel like my mom would have jumped out from behind the closet and just smacked down. You're embarrassing us. Like, you show up, you have something in your hands every time you show up somewhere. I don't care how many times. I don't care how good of a friend I am of yours. You invite me to your place, there's a bottle of wine, there's a cake, something's coming with me. All right, yeah. There's something. You never show up empty-handed. My God, if you showed up empty-handed to any one of my family's things, they talked about it forever. They talked about it forever. You were the biggest pariah in the history of the world. And if you didn't say hello to everybody and if you didn't shake your hands, everybody I know does the Irish exit now. Everybody I know just dips. If you ever did that at one of my family parties back in the day, dude, the sewing circle would never stop.
That's so funny. You grew up Jersey, I grew up Colombian, and it's the exact same thing. Like, I would have to go, little me would have to go around the whole fucking living room and say goodbye to everyone. Kiss on the cheek, handshake. Yep. And if I didn't, it was like a problem. You're so right. Yeah. And I was just like an accessory of my parents. Like, I didn't have any sort of say on like when I want to leave. I don't want to eat this. It was like, you're just here with me and you're quiet and you sit and you eat what you're given and that's it. You don't bitch about it.
That's right.
But now it's like I see all these, like my niece and nephew, it's like they dictate what they eat. And it's always like the question like, honey, do you want, why are you asking them?
Yeah.
Give it to them. Yeah. They're like, no, I don't want that. Well, I didn't have that choice. I don't have that luxury.
100%. And on top of it, bro, you make a great point. I remember being like 16, starting to sow my oats a little bit, starting to feel myself, and there was like one aunt I felt like didn't like me, and I still, in fairness, I don't think she likes me, but
we still don't know.
You still just think. But so I didn't go up and say hello to her. I'm saying to myself, I was like, every conversation I've ever had with this woman, I've had to start it. I have to go up and say hello. I have to say goodbye. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let her say hello to me this time. Dude, as soon as you get in the car, hey, what was with you today? What do you mean? You didn't talk to so-and-so. Yeah, she didn't talk to me either. What's that supposed to mean? I'm just saying, conversation goes both ways. Dad's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've talked to her many times. I decided, I'm going to wait for her to talk to me. Maybe she doesn't want to talk to me. No. Hey, that's your aunt. You go up to her. I'm like, what if she doesn't want to talk to me? I feel like she doesn't like me. I don't care if she hates you. You say hello, you say goodbye, you tell her that she looks great. What's wrong with you? Completely different world today, bro.
Yeah.
Completely different world today, bro.
Now it's like kids walk into whatever house and they're on their phone or an iPad and you just like tap them on the head. They look at you for a second and then they go off and they fuck off somewhere.
So another friend of mine has kids, and I shouldn't really. I don't know if I should say this one.
Well, he doesn't know. She, they, pronouns.
So we're having dinner, and their kids are there. Dinner. They had me over for dinner. Really nice. Yeah. And they've got a couple kids, and their kids had a couple friends over.
I love your use of the pronoun they. Now you don't reveal gender.
That's right.
They don't know.
So they had me over, and the kids are sitting there. And they're literally like giggling with each other, and they're on their phones and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at them from across the table, like, what's going on here? Like, I'm almost like I'm like trying to egg them on and be like, hey kids, put the phone down. Hey kids, put the phone down. Yeah. But instead, we're just eating there in silence while these kids are giggling at one another. And then finally, me being the asshole that I am, I just I look up like halfway through dinner and I'm like, I think I hate children. And everybody's like, what? I was like, yeah, I just think kids suck. You guys are boring. Like, I don't know anything about you guys. Are any of you guys cool? Like, and I'm sitting there like just trying to neg these kids into talking, and you can't get a rise out of them. They're just like, oh, okay, and then they go right back to their phones, man.
Yeah.
So it's it's the world is crazy in that regard, and then it got me thinking a little bit. These kids, and our generation is kind of on the cusp of it. But I think one of the issues our society is having, especially politically, is that there's an entire younger generation that has never had to become used to discomfort.
Yeah.
And what I mean about that is like, we were in situations where, yeah, I don't want to be in this situation. I don't want to have this conversation with this person, but it's protocol. This is what we're going to do. You're going to sit here with your cousins and, it's forced friendship. You're going to do it, right? Television. Think about this. Just, and I could be crazy here. This could be some sort of like pseudo science. This is just the theory that I'm formulating. I'd love your opinion on it. We loved a song by an artist. Mm-hmm. We used to have to buy the whole album. And we'd listen to 15 songs. We'd listen to the CD, and maybe some of that music was good. Maybe some of it was bad. Maybe our new favorite song. There's a Busta Rhymes song, that I absolutely love that never made it on the radio. There's a couple of them from When Disaster Strikes album. Everybody knows, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. That was the big one. That was all over MTV. But there was other ones. There was the one with the Knight Rider soundtrack. There was Fired Up. There was like songs that I still listen to now, and I'm like bumping. I would have never knew about them if I didn't have to buy the album. Right. There's television shows that I watch that are some of my favorite shows now, and I had to watch because there was nothing else on TV. You'd flip through the channels and there'd be nothing else on. So
the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, the best of a bad situation. Like so much of our interactions, so much of what we consumed wasn't our choice. It was out of our control.
Right.
So there was a certain level of understanding. There was a certain level of respect on a certain, there was a certain level of open-mindedness that you had to have.
And there was patience.
You had to. And my dad would play jazz in the car, and I'd be like, "This is the worst crap I've ever heard in my life." Now I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I never had to sit there and listen to it, if while my dad put it on in the car, I had headphones on or something like that, and it got me thinking like, I would love to have like Jordan Peterson or like Brett Weinstein or some of these guys on one day and just like ask them about this from an evolutionary perspective. Is the fact that people are choosing to the moment, to the second, everything they interact with, part of the trouble that we're having in society? You have an entire generation of people that grow up searching for the exact song that they want to listen to. Going on, how many friends do we have a Netflix account? They go to The Office, to the exact season, to the exact episode that they like. They just know what they like, and they're consuming exactly what they like, and they're able to control that. But in doing so, we're fostering an environment of closed-mindedness that I wonder if it's creating, I don't know how to say this effectively. I wonder if it's creating a disincentive for new worldviews, right? Like, I wonder if we're so closed off, and we're able to be, that this whole idea of a parallel economy, like there's two different worldviews happening at the same time. And well, yeah, because you never have to interact with one another. You literally don't have to. I don't know. Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it is. I would say that, yes, this incredible access to everything we want and to be entertained constantly is definitely having some sort of negative impact on people. Where there is, Louis C.K. made that joke about like when your phone takes a little too long to download an image and you're pissed off. Dude, it has to go to the fucking moon and back. Like, it's like, give it a second, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm younger, right? I'm 26, but I still grew up with that. Hey, if I miss my favorite episode, new episode of my favorite show, I had to wait till next week.
That's it, man.
I just had to wait. Yeah. If there was a rerun, I couldn't go and like look it up online.
Yeah.
I couldn't, DVR it. Yep. Nothing. If I had to piss in the middle of the game or like in the middle of anything, I'd either hold it or just miss it. Like, I
perseverance.
Yeah.
Perseverance, man. And it goes beyond entertainment, though, David. To me, it goes beyond entertainment. Like, people are choosing their reality now.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah.
If you watch MSNBC every single day and you watch Fox News every single day, what you believe is real are two completely different things. What you believe is reality I see it on Twitter all the time. I'm like, these people are living in a completely different reality than I am. And I have to actively pursue their perspective to see like, all right, well, what's going on here? Like what's real and what's not? And again, I come back to this idea of like, everybody can effectively live in a bubble now. Everybody can.
Yeah, it's my world.
It's 100%. This is what I like. This is what I'm going to do. If the people in my community don't dress like me, I'm going to go online and find people that dress like me, which is a good thing. But also, to me, it kind of like loses the idea of your personal identity. Like, part of life is finding your place in this world. The world is tough. Like, forget humanity. The second you step outside, the sun is trying to kill you. Like, this is like everything in this world, this entire universe, as far as we know it, is uninhabitable to our species. This is a tough world, man.
Yeah.
You know, you need water for life. Too much water, you die. Like there's just no way to do one of anything and come out better for it. So I'm really wondering if this younger generation, have you ever asked, you know, dude, I'm talking about 30-year-olds now. I'm talking people 25 years old. Ask them to make a phone call. Back when I had my gym, you know the hardest thing in the world to do was hire people to do cold call sales, or like not even cold call. People that were my clients. Hey, just call them and schedule like on the phone. Yeah, on the phone. Call them up and say, hey, you know, when do you want to come in? Get them on the phone.
Yeah.
And unless you write out a script for them, they're like, hi, yeah, who's this? Michael, can I help you, Michael? Yeah. I'm at the gym. Yeah, like.
Yeah. You get like that phone call anxiety.
What? Also, by the way, did you see what I just did? Ask somebody 18 years old, hey, act like you're holding a phone. They'll hold a brick. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Like, they have so much freedom, and that's why they take freedom for granted. Like, to the point of the cell phone, being able to talk in your room on the cell phone. My mom was on the other line listening to half my conversation in high school.
Yep.
Again, man, there's a certain degree of a disconnect. Technology is advancing so fast. And that's why you see the younger generation just blindly trust science. They're like, science would never lie to us. Why? Science is great. And you're sitting here like, over here like, do you see that we're just finding out now that ball powder gives you cancer? Like,
You're being serious?
I swear to God. Talcum powder gives people cancer. How many people have been putting baby powder on their nuts? And apparently it's carcinogenic as hell. Yeah. I'm telling you.
I gotta let's just cut this one short.
You gotta choose between being, you know, moist in the seat or growing a tumor. It's crazy, bro.
Yikes.
So what do we do? Like, like, how do we move forward here, man? Like, I sit here and we have this great podcast, and I love it, and it's cathartic, and I love these people who tune in and listen to us. And we're all just trying to figure this thing out, because I think left, right, in the middle, up, down, white, black, whatever, all of us have this innate feeling that this moment in time just doesn't make sense. There's something about this moment that is inhumane in many ways. And I think one of those things is this connection. Did we lose our connection here?
No, but it's choppy.
It's choppy.
We could, sorry to interrupt you there, but maybe we can just switch over to just YouTube.
Facebook's chopping? You think that's what it is?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to different places, so maybe it's easier if it's going to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Well, let's talk to the people online real quick. We've got Truman Show. That's right. Rufus 481 on TikTok says it's the Trooper Show. And then America went no cards. That's right. America went no carbs, so the bread came off the table. Very cool, man. We got 40 people on the we got 433 people on the TikTok right now. So what's up, everybody on TikTok? Yeah, we can't really hear the other guy. Yeah, we're trying to figure out a way to live stream all these things at once, just so people understand what's going on here. David, we're using an app called Restream, so I can go live on Facebook, I can go live on YouTube, I can go live on Twitter all at the same time. But it's really choppy, and we're probably just going to have to bail on it. And I'm going live on TikTok on my phone.
Do you want me to just switch over to YouTube? Access Restream and go just straight live on YouTube?
Is it that choppy?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, if that's the case, then we'll just start the podcast over because, all right.
I mean, we can.
It's not ideal. All right. What's up,
Or
people?
we can just, continue because then I have to sign into your Gerard Heron.
Go ahead.
Slick and thick.
Whatever you think is best, man. So what's up? In the interim, TikTok, we're still rocking. Yeah, so anyway, you can't hear the other guy because this is him. So just so you see.
What's going on, everybody?
He's on the microphone. We have our setup here in my condo down here in Florida. And TikTok doesn't let you join that streaming, right? Incinest, what's the topic of the day? What's the topic of the day is we're talking about the disconnect. What is possibly causing the disconnect in our society between, all of this strife? And I've got my theories. We're going to talk about Agenda 2030. We're going to talk about how I believe the education system is failing us and it's creating wage slaves instead of intellectual humans. I'm going to talk about the way that technology has put us in a bubble, an unintended consequence of technology. And I think the biggest thing, that we're going to do today is we're going to try to figure out, how we get better, right? So we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes. We're going to talk about what I call broken brains. Why is it that America is? Why is it that in America, in this moment in America, it's more valuable to be a victim than a literal Super Bowl MVP? We're gonna, so as far as you guys being able to hear David, you can hear him a little bit, but you're just going to have to imagine it. Or if you can, go to YouTube. We're going live on YouTube. Go to my YouTube, and you can hear David, and you can also interact in the comments. So if you can, go to YouTube. Are we ready, David, or what?
Yeah, let's rock.
All right, let's go.
Let's keep it going. All right, so what do you want to start with?
Are there comments? Let's talk about the comments first, and then we can get going into kind of this idea of where I think this all started and why it goes back to Occupy Wall Street.
Let's get to the comments in a little bit, just while this thing keeps refreshing. But you wanted to go by Democrats live by a completely different set of rules than the rest of us.
Yeah, so that's now, right? So corporate Democrats,
which is kind of what we were talking about, kind of getting into. I feel like.
No, well, what? So do you remember? Let's see, 2008. How old were you in 2008?
Don't know. If I'm 26 now.
Mm-hmm. So you were like 12?
Something like that.
Yeah. Do you remember Occupy Wall Street?
I was 14.
You were 14. Do you remember Occupy Wall Street?
Not so much.
Yeah. So without doing an intense amount of research, I should probably do the research and do a doc on this. If anybody wants to finance a doc, you're welcome to. Going back over my own personal thoughts, going back over my own notes, my journal, what we have, this strife that we have in this country, really, I think, comes back to 2008 through 2012. Obama's first term, and then into his reelection campaign. In 2008, there was Occupy Wall Street, right? You had the massive mortgage crisis. We talk about being in a recession now. That destroyed lives, destroyed my father's life. It destroyed lives. And the banks got this massive bailout, and normal everyday people lost everything. And when I'm talking about everything, I'm talking like 75% of their net worth overnight, bro. Like,
yeah.
People think crypto crashing. It's nothing compared to Bank of America, one of the foremost institutions in the world, going down to 75 cents a share. Now, why is that a big deal? People are like, well, you play stocks. No, man. So much of people's compensation was share. So the way that they would do it, and they're still doing it now, they would pay you, they'd say, all right, we'll give you $100,000 a year, or you can get $75,000 a year and another 75 in Bank of America stock. And what idiot wouldn't take the 150? Yeah, I'll take the Bank of America stock. So now you're working there for 10 years and you've accumulated half of your income in Bank of America stock, and it goes from $33 to 75 cents over a weekend. Everybody's like, well, you just should have hold on to it. Huh? You're telling people that they should just hang on to it while it's all the way on the way down? Dude, people killed themselves. Literally. There were suicides. There were people that had manic depressions. Divorces went through the roof. It's never really been accurately reported on. The Big Short did a good job of it, but even that didn't even. There's one line where Brad Pitt says every 1% of unemployment accounts for 40,000 deaths. And that's like the closest we've ever gotten to like really understanding like what the impact the economy has on people. People just think the economy is like, oh no, a rich person is not going to be able to afford a yacht. No, that's not it at all, man. The economy means that people are going to spend the rest of their life in debt. You understand? Like, I don't think people understand that. If somebody bought a 30-year fixed mortgage and they were 20 years in and they only had 10 years left to pay, and then the money goes away and they need money, you have to fill up your car with gas. You have to feed your family. You have to pay your mortgage. You have to pay your life insurance. You don't have the money coming in, and the money that you have is worth half as much because of inflation. What do? You refinance. They squeeze the little guy.
Yeah.
What do you do? Hey, you know what you need, buddy? You need more debt. Let me buy money now with another 30 years of your life. And they're never out of debt. We are a country of debt slaves. This whole you will own nothing and be happy, this is not a new concept. This is not a new concept. We are a country of debt slaves. You're in debt for your vehicle. As soon as you pay your vehicle off, what do they want to do? Hey, we want to buy that vehicle from you. Above market value. Why do you think a car company wants to give you $25,000 for a $20,000 car? Because then what do you have to do? Buy a new vehicle.
Right.
Get yourself back in debt. Right? So we are a nation of debt slaves. And in 2008, after all this happened, there was a movement called Occupy Wall Street, which was kind of the very first nonpartisan movement I've ever saw in my life. It was like if Black Lives Matter and the Tea Party came together and formed one thing. And they were like, the banks screwed us. And not only did the banks screw us, they took our taxpayer money to bail themselves out and gave the CEOs $25 million severance packages. They should have been in jail forever. And instead they got tens of millions of dollars of taxpayer money. Imagine being one of the millions of people to have your house foreclosed on. You lose your house because of this market crash.
Yeah.
And the people that caused the crash, not only are they not held accountable, they get bailed out with your money. You're getting kicked out of your house while your tax dollars, 30% of your income, right? Great America, land of the free. You got to give 30% of your money just to stay out of jail. Just to stay out of jail, you got to give 30% of your money in this country.
Yeah.
You understand what that means? That means you do not earn money for yourself until about 4 o'clock on Tuesday. All of Monday and 7 hours of Tuesday, government, before you even make $1 for your family. And then these people take that money and give themselves $25 million, $15 million, $10 million, when they should have been in jail. So Occupy Wall Street starts and they say, this is fucked. So again, it's like Black Lives Matter and the Tea Party, common enemy. And the problem was it was pure anger. It was pure anger. And then they voted in Obama, hope, change, all those things. Country's like, it's going to be different. He extends the Bush tax cuts. He extends the bailouts to the car companies now. We bail out the car companies, and we do this American buyback, right? So it was basically this giant cash for junkers thing, where Obama is going to use American tax dollars, and they're going to buy your car back, no matter how shitty it is. If it doesn't even move, you're going to get $5,500 for your car in a credit towards a new car. Because we need to stimulate the audio industry in America. You know what everybody bought? Foreign cars.
Yeah.
Everybody bought Honda, Nissan, Kia. Nobody bought domestic.
God damn it.
So now Honda made the point and Toyota made the point. They were like, well, we've invested massive in America. You shouldn't be mad at us. Honda America is 3 times bigger than Honda Japan.
Yeah.
Automotively, right? So that's fair, fine. But it was just the fact that they didn't even think to put domestic protections in on this is just like, it just goes to show you. So what am I bringing all this up about? it's around that time, okay, that all the racial strife started happening. It's around that time Black Lives Matter was formed, Trayvon Martin happened. I think it's closer to 2012 than 2008. But there's a theory going around, and I don't know if it's true, and I don't want to spread conspiracy theories, but is it possible, David, that the global banking cabal, what we know now as the World Economic Forum, the IMF, the UN, said this is dangerous. These people have their eyes on us. They're talking about, hey, what's going on with fractional reserve banking? Who's this Ron Paul guy? Why are people asking? Why are people chanting to end the Fed? Why are people looking to audit us? Like, it was heavy, dude. This is around the time that I really actually started getting involved in politics because of what happened with my family. I was in my, I was in my second year of minor league baseball, and I had become more politically not active, but I had become more politically interested and aware in college. Yeah. And now, after what happened in 2008, and now it's 2009, and frankly, my family needs me to work. And I'm feeling like the most selfish piece of shit in the history of the world, playing minor league baseball for $1,300 a month, bro. $1,300 a month, which is hilarious because Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, they just had a class action lawsuit, minor league baseball players, that we were, working below minimum wage for all these years. And he scoffed at it. He was like, we pay these guys a living wage, bro, $1,300. $1,300. I got taxed on $1,300, and what's nuts is you were supposed to give 10% of your salary to the clubby as a clubhouse fee before taxes. So you're supposed to give $130 to these guys. So at the end, you'd walk out legit with like $800, like $200 a week is like your walk away pay, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. And people were like, well, they pay for all your meals and they pay for your housing, and they're like, yeah, you get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And
so they're feeding their athletes?
Yeah, dude. And the Cardinals are wild too, because the Cardinals are one of the best ran organizations. It gets better. It gets better. It's very much like prison. It's very like, it's very like everything you hear about having to be the big dog in the yard. It's very much that mentality. There's curfews, there's code of conduct. Like it's not like prison would be a crazy way to describe it, but it's very much like, what you would hear like in school would be like, or something like that. But the Cardinals were great. Now, maybe it's changed because it's, 12 years since I've been in there, but there were levels to this, Papa. Like, you got peanut butter and jelly in rookie ball, then maybe you got ham and cheese in A ball, and then by double A, they're getting, like catered meals from restaurants, and then by triple A, they're eating steaks and stuff. So, like, there was a literal sign in the clubhouse that said, "Don't like it? ? Play better." Like that was.
Wow. So they were aware of it. They're like, they I know.
100%, dude. So anyway, now because of 2008, because of the crash, my family's net worth is down to like nothing. My dad's not working; he's out of work. And I'm sitting here, playing baseball. I'm like feeling the stress of like, my God almighty, I either got to make it or I got to leave, dude. Like, my family needs me. And, it 100% expedited my career. I wasn't going to make it to the big leagues anyway, but it expedited the end of what I was, of me playing. So again, there's a certain bitterness about it. There's a certain anger about it. And then when you see these people getting these massive bonuses and these massive buyouts, and when they should be getting jail time, that's when, the only person you hear talking about it is Ron Paul. That's when I really got into like Ron Paul and libertarianism and kind of that stuff, which people don't like Ron Paul. He's been right about so much, man. I mean, if you're being fair, the guy comes off as kooky, whatever. If you're being fair, read what he was writing about going back to the 80s, about inflation, about the Fed, about fractional reserve banking. He's been right about it all. Everything. It's so hilarious when they're talking about inflation now and the Putin tax hike and all this other stuff. And they're like, nobody could have seen inflation coming. And Ron Paul's just tweeting, like, he's retweeting himself, like, for real? It's like, I'm 90. I saw it coming. Like, So
I love that drag show, the show he does on TV.
Oh yeah, the Ron Paul.
Yeah.
Work it, girl.
Yeah, yeah,
That's,
yeah,
Oh, that's RuPaul. That's RuPaul.
Oh, I thought it was Ron Paul.
It's they get mistaken for each other all the time, David. So why do I bring this up? There's a theory going around that the banks decided we don't like when the plebs turn their gaze towards us. There's a lot of them.
What?
The plebs turn their gaze. Oh, I'm sorry. Their eyes. No.
So it is the same guy.
Yeah, it is the same guy. And then they decided, look, we need to rip these people apart, and that's when the racial strife and everything began. And then obviously Obama's second term, he went full identity politics to get that second term. So fast forward 2012, that's 10 years later. And now here we are. And you got people talking about secession, literal secession, like Florida could secede from the Union. California could secede from the Union. You see what they did in California? They just voted, the LA, I believe it was, the LA council voted that they have the right to fire an elected official.
Fire?
Yeah. All I've heard from the Democrats, talking about two different sets of rules, all I've heard from the Democrats for 2 years now is an attack on our democracy. This is an attack on our democracy. This is an attack on our democracy. This is an attack on our democracy. They just voted that they can fire elected officials. That's a literal attack on democracy. You can't do that. The people elect somebody, you can't be like, well, we don't like them, gone. Can't do it. Can't do it. The governor has given himself, he declared monkeypox a state of emergency. Governor Gavin Newsom is a dictator of the world's fifth largest economy. I'm sorry, fifth largest now. I don't want to anger Kevin Can Wait with the world's corniest, owned videos. That dude, Kevin Can Wait. That's his name, right? Kevin Can Wait? No. The dude who showed up in the leprechaun suit late to the PBD thing, running for governor. The single worst politician.
Kenny. I know what you're talking about.
What
Meet
a
Kevin.
doofus.
Meet Kevin.
Meet Kevin, my
Kevin
God.
Can Wait.
Yeah, Jesus. Meet Kevin. What a doofus, bro. Shows up in a green leprechaun suit, and then this guy's like, that was an ambush. I'm like, bro, I never heard of you. I never even heard
But you guys single-handedly ruined his chances.
But the guy's running for governor of California. I've never heard of you in a second, and I'm a fat comedian from New Jersey, and I'm able to pick apart your platform in 25 seconds? What are you doing, bro? Who are you paying?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here?
Dude, who is advising you here?
Yeah, and his own of me. He did a reaction video and his own of me, and Patrick wouldn't let me do a reaction video back, which bothered me to no end.
Oh,
but his own was like, it's not the fourth biggest economy. All right, it's the fifth biggest. Get your facts right. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know they would leapfrog by India. My bad. So that's kind of where we're at. All right, and this is a ramble, right? But what does that mean? How has that manifested itself, right? Patrick Mahomes came out, and I don't know, did you see this last week? Patrick Mahomes talked about how hard it is being a black quarterback.
I saw something about it, yeah.
Yeah, and we're held to a higher standard. They don't say these things. And I'm sitting here like, geez Louise, Patrick Mahomes. This dude is out here looking for victim clout. You know who Patrick Mahomes is? Patrick Mahomes is the son of a Major League Baseball player.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Patrick Mahomes is the son of a Major League Baseball player who grew up wealthy as hell in Texas. This dude was drafted out of high school to baseball. He got to go in pro out of high school. He got a full ride to Texas Tech. Okay. He was a first-round draft pick. This kid has been a millionaire his entire life. He's been a deca-millionaire since he was 17 years old, 18 years old.
Yeah.
This guy has been a multiple-time Pro Bowler. He's been an MVP in the NFL. He's been a Super Bowl MVP. He's literally on pace to be a billionaire. He's going to be a billionaire. And yet he's still a victim.
Okay, but at some point, you can't just say that because, he has his own life struggles. Sure, he's got a ton of money, but everyone has some sort of struggle, right?
Let's get a moment of silence for Patrick Mahomes.
No. Also, I'm not saying
you're so right, David. I just hope things get better for the kid. You know, I hate to see people struggle like this. You know, the come up's tough.
Well, you're just using it monetarily, right? Like, it's like, yeah, he's got all the money in the world and solve whatever issue surface level with money.
Okay.
Is what you're saying. It's like,
do you know what the quote was that started this?
No, what was the quote?
I don't know. Sometimes he plays a little street ball. That was the quote. That was the quote that started a racial referendum for 14 days on ESPN. I don't know. Sometimes he plays. It's an anonymous defensive opponent that said, you know, sometimes you can rattle him a little bit. He's one of those street ball guys. That used to be a compliment. They would use that as a compliment.
I don't see how that's racist.
Exactly. Exactly.
Play a pick like a.
Exactly.
It was like a reference to like he plays pickup game. Like,
yes, dude. This is what I'm talking about. This dude, he takes it as an offense because he's never played street ball because he grew up in cul-de-sacs.
People taking it the racist way are the racist ones.
Brother, just the fact that we are currently in a society where people who are legitimately rich and famous get more clout for being a victim than they do for being a literal Super Bowl MVP. This is the broken brain I'm talking about. People were talking about Viola Davis. They were like, look, she lost 200 pounds for the upcoming Wakanda Forever movie, right? She played Ma Rainey, and now she lost 100-something pounds for this. And they're like, she's willing to do that to her body, and yet she doesn't even get paid as much as Meryl Streep. And it's like, Viola Davis gets paid more than 99.9% of every single actor or actress walking the planet Earth. You have to find one person, literally one person, who gets more money than her to paint Viola Davis as a victim because it's more expeditious. Not expeditious, what would be the word? It's more advantageous for her career to be a victim than it is to be a literal movie star. What kind of broken brain society are we living in right now?
Right. But so to that point, then you're saying that anyone that is making a high income, that they're famous, that they have some sort of accolade, like they have no right to be in any sort of struggle. Like you have all this money and all this power. What are you bitching about is sort of your thing. Like you should be comfortable and happy your entire life.
I think that gratitude is certainly something that they should be showing. That
right.
They're not. But at the same time, that's not my point at all. My point is that it's there used to be a time where trying to be a victim, playing yourself as a victim, you were seen as being a bitch.
Right.
Like,
but there was also a time where...
For real? Like, for real?
Right, but don't you think that also has led to all this mental health issue? It's like, hey, dude, I think I'm struggling with like my mental health. And people would be like, you fucking pussy. Are you serious? Get over it. It's like, oh,
sure.
okay. All right.
Sure.
So this depression thing.
Two completely different things. Also, if you live in the public eye, like, look, Patrick Mahomes, you don't want people saying that you play street ball? Quit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're going to make $1 billion. People are going to talk. You live in the public eye. Quit.
Yeah, I mean, that I get. It's like...
No, black quarterbacks, we got to, the people don't know we got to struggle. Patrick,
I also agree with that.
You're Kaepernick now, bro.
Yeah.
You grew up rich as shit, kid.
That was the whole thing with Trump, right? Like Trump, it was like they would make fun of him on SNL or anywhere, as politicians and presidents normally do get made fun of. And he was like, I hate that show. They make me, it's a stupid show. It's not even funny. Sure. I don't like that they make fun of it. Dude, shut the fuck up, you pussy whiny bitch.
David the Commie, if it makes you more comfortable to divert this conversation to Trump.
Well, no way. You can't do that. It's the same thing.
If it makes you more comfortable to divert this conversation to Donald Trump, that's fine. So
hold on.
Trump's bad. No, we get it. Now Trump's bad. Now let's get back to the topic at hand.
You see, when there's like a parallel comparison, that's the same thing. Trump was always like, they hurt my feelings, my hell wheel.
Yeah.
And then everyone would be like, wow, what a brave guy. Leave him alone.
Who would say that?
Leave him alone.
Who would say that?
You're doing it right now. You're like, if you want to divert it. It's the same thing, though. Wouldn't you be just as pissed at Donald Trump if he was bitching about his feelings getting hurt?
Isn't this the problem that you have with Donald Trump? So now I got to ask you the question. If you have that problem with Donald Trump, which you do, Why don't you have that problem with Patrick Mahomes?
Who says I don't?
You.
No, I just
Because you'd
said.
rather talk about Donald Trump than Patrick Mahomes.
Nah, I'm just making the parallel. Would you or would you not agree? It's the same thing when Donald Trump would be like, all that shit. You get offended of all the people making fun of him, and then you go and make digs at the show. It's the same thing as like Patrick Mahomes making himself a victim for like people playing. Like he plays street ball.
I don't think it's a parallel. And I'm not even a Trump fan, but it's not a parallel because Trump was.
But would you?
The Trump campaign and the Trump presidency were constantly under attack by the mainstream. Constantly under attack.
Yeah.
Patrick
So what?
Mahomes has been the opposite. Patrick Mahomes has been a hero. He's been heralded. Patrick Mahomes has never been made fun of. His brother and his wife are two of the most cringy human beings on planet Earth. And
what's the issue with? So now we feel bad because the media don't like me because I say racist things sometimes. Like, of course you're gonna get fucking media. Like,
what did Donald
forget
Trump say
the
it was
media
racist? Go.
Dude, he maybe
Go.
not racist.
Go.
I'll take that back. Very divisive though.
Sure. Obama
Okay.
didn't do divisive shit.
Maybe, but he wasn't so fucking blunt about
Oh
it.
my God! Of course he
Dude,
was.
Donald Trump would be
Oh
like,
my
hey,
God.
why don't you beat him up? I'll pay you fucking prison bills or whatever the fuck. I'll get you out of prison. Just kick his ass, will ya? Dude, what is this?
So because he was more crass. Obama was smoother.
Yeah, have some fucking class, you
Oh
fat
my God,
blob. Like,
dude.
that's the thing. It's like,
You don't think Obama said divisive things?
dude,
You don't think the Obama campaign saying everybody who
that's the
disagrees
thing,
with me
though.
is racist?
Right, well,
is
that's the-
divisive.
Well, that's the thing. Wow, he did. Did he say that exactly?
So using coded language is the key here. That's the problem.
Kind is the difference.
So coded
It's like,
language is the key.
Dude,
here.
as shitty as that sounds, like, yeah, at least Obama did it in some fucking overt way where, like, people maybe didn't notice it as much. Covert way where people didn't notice it as much. But Donald Trump would just go out there and be like, hey, I gotta contain it. But Donald Trump would be way more blunt about it.
Alpha Sully has a good point here. Alpha Sully on TikTok says, what people think is racist is not about the words said, but how they interpret the person saying them.
So I took back what I said when he said something racist. But he is very divisive. Which is, so back to my point.
Sure.
For you, a guy that's like very much someone that doesn't like when people victimize themselves, did it bother you at all when Donald Trump made himself a victim of the media? Because essentially he's like, I have too many haters.
No. Well, I don't like when people victimize themselves.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Donald Trump would constantly victimize himself.
But Donald Trump was a victim of a media attack.
Oh my God,
How-
Gerard.
Wait.
Gerard.
Wait.
Donald Trump was a victim. That guy grew up with. It's the same thing. He grew up rich.
Sure.
His daddy gave him a small loan of $1 million.
Do you think that there was a?
You're telling me Donald Trump is a victim?
If I could, David, are you going to tell me that there wasn't a coordinated media attack on Donald Trump?
Oh, coordinated. Yeah, dude, he made it pretty easy to like.
Jesus
hate him.
Christ! Yeah, no, I get it. She.
I don't know if there was a coordinated.
She shouldn't have worn that if she didn't want it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she should. If she didn't want it, she shouldn't have worn a
Totally
skirt that
different.
short. Of course it is. David.
Totally different.
David the commie says it's different. No, there was a coordinated effort. Look, did Donald Trump make it easy? Sure, but to say that what he is going through, what coordinated smear effort was there on Jussie Smollett? Jussie Smollett. This again, we are in a society where this dude was a literal television star.
Yeah.
A star. And he thought being a victim of a fake hate crime would elevate his career.
Yeah, and it totally failed, and he's been entirely canceled.
But think about the mentality of our society. Think about where the zeitgeist is, where being a fake victim
Didn't work.
gets you more clout than being a legit star.
But it doesn't, because it didn't work.
It happens all the time. This is what I'm talking about with Patrick Mahomes. This is what I'm talking about Viola Davis. She doesn't make as much as Meryl Streep. She makes more than every other actress on the planet Earth. Everyone.
Right.
Victim.
Sure. Donald Trump.
What about
Fake victim.
I disagree with you there.
Like, he didn't have millions of fans?
Yes. Do you think the media treat Donald Trump the same as they treat Obama or Joe Biden?
Yes and no.
Okay. You've just lost all credibility in this conversation.
Dude, Donald,
You've lost all,
that's the thing. It's like,
you've lost all credibility.
dude, Donald
I mean,
Trump.
it's one thing to disagree. It's one thing to hate Donald Trump. I'm there. I'm with you. But to say that, nah, yes and no, you're
it's
completely full of shit.
Yeah, let's talk about this crazy guy.
Was Obama, was anybody kicked off Twitter?
No, also no one fucking
What? Lies?
rallied the
Lies?
no one rallied the troops to storm the Capitol.
God, I will bet you the Capitol is the problem.
That's an example of it. That's why he got kicked off.
Maxine Waters, Kamala Harris, telling people, your favorite, Ocasio-Cortez, telling people to get,
my favorite.
Get in actual quotes, get in people's faces, get in the streets. Don't make it uncomfortable for people. Setting up bail, setting up GoFundMes and Kickstarters to get rioters out of jail. You're full of shit. You're full of shit, kid. Straight up. Full of shit. You're operating within a double standard. And the fact that you don't see it is pause for reflection.
Well, no. See, that's the thing. It's like, well, you're also operating on a double standard
How?
here. Anyone that you mentioned,
Sure.
Patrick Mahomes, Viola Davis, all those people,
is there a
victimizing themselves.
Is there a coordinated media attack on those people?
I don't know. And I don't know if there was on Donald Trump.
100% not. 100% not.
There's also, how can you be so sure that there was on Trump?
Is Donald Trump treated differently in the media?
Yeah, because he's a fucking, he's an idiot.
Okay. You think Joe Biden's an intelligent guy?
Maybe in his prime. Right now, he's an old man.
You think the media, if gas had almost tripled under Donald Trump, do you think the media would be running interference for him? Do you think they would be running with stupid ass stories called the Putin tax hike? Do you think when gas comes down to $4 a gallon, they would be championing it as this is the fastest gas has dropped in over 100 years? Yeah, because it was up to the highest it's ever been. The media runs interference for these guys. They ask softball questions. You don't see any difference in the way the media... Now, Obama, I'll give you a pass because you were younger. You don't see any difference in the way the media has handled Donald Trump compared to the way the media handles Joe Biden?
I do see a difference. Of course, Joe Biden is an old man, but I do see them constantly highlighting his gibberish.
Oh, my God.
And like, there's different things that they highlight. Yeah, I get it. There's not so much of an attack on his intelligence or all that.
How many Saturday Night Live sketches have you seen on Joe Biden falling off a fucking bike? I mean, this is the lowest hanging fruit
No, but
possible.
I've seen...
Kamala Harris Mad Libs 17 sentences. She said, I'm Kamala Harris. I'm a woman. My pronouns are he, her. I'm in a blue suit. Jesus Christ. Not a single sketch. Lowest hanging fruit possible.
What's funny about that?
But
what's funny about
just throwing
that?
Alec Baldwin, Alec Baldwin, who's never going to spend a day in jail for killing anybody, by the way. Democrat double standard. Throwing him in a...
That's a different situation.
Of course it is, David.
Murder someone.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Anything Democrats do, David likey.
That's not true.
David got excuse for.
Not true. There's nothing funny about Kamala Harris saying something about her pronouns. It's like, nah.
Are you insane? She sits there. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Yeah, when she did the whole thing.
I'm a woman. My pronouns are he, her. I'm sitting at a table wearing a blue suit. That's the second most powerful person. Really?
It's like funny for a podcast, but not funny for SNL.
Of course not. Of course not. But everything they did about Trump was drop dead hilarious. They definitely didn't beat that drum too often.
I don't know if it was drop dead hilarious, but Donald Trump was a clown. So yeah, he is funny to make fun. They made fun of him before he was a president. He's just someone that's easy to make fun of.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
He talks like a caricature. He
Joe
dresses
Biden's
like one.
Not easy to make fun of. Hunter Biden's not easy to make fun of. Those are really tough ones.
Donald Trump looks like a lowercase letter B. Like that, he's drawn.
Joe Biden looks like a Q-tip that somebody put eyeballs on.
I totally agree. But I'm saying, like, Donald Trump is a caricature.
Joe
Biden is the product of a bad Donald Trump
Nancy
presidency.
Pelosi. Can't make fun of Nancy Pelosi.
She's not funny to make fun of.
Oh, my God. Just nothing funny about these people at all.
I mean, it's funny,
There's nothing funny about 80-year-old insider trading alcoholics getting on their knee in a fucking dashiki Nothing funny about that, huh? There's no satire there, David.
I mean, there's some
The
funny
only
bits.
thing, the only thing that's
comedic.
funny, there's the only thing that's funny in the world in the history of politics is Donald Trump.
Biggest clown we've ever had. Hilarious.
Yeah, you're lost, kid. You're lost. You're lost. I half of this I think is a bit that you're playing. You're being adversarial for the sake of it, but you're losing credibility. You really are. I mean,
Why? Because seriously, because I don't think Donald Trump is a victim of anything.
No, the fact that you're comparing somebody going out of their way to victimize themselves to somebody who was actually a victim.
Oh, my, I could say the same thing.
How is Patrick Mahomes actually a victim?
I don't know if maybe not Patrick Mahomes.
Okay,
Choose another celebrity with an actual.
How was Jussie Smollett actually a victim?
Definitely not a victim.
Okay. Viola Davis is a victim?
No.
Okay. Help me out here.
Another celebrity that is actually a victim of something. Sure. Homeboy from Home Alone, that little kid. That guy.
Macaulay Culkin.
Victim of a stolen childhood.
Straight white male. Straight white male. He deserved it. Kid had privilege.
I don't get what we're arguing anymore.
No, dude. What I'm saying is that this is the brain rot that I'm talking about. So circling all the way back to what Agenda 2030 was, circling all the way back to what, this kind of conspiracy, right? This brain rot comes specifically from a place where I believe a plan was implemented to rip us apart. The difference, what Patrick Mahomes is? He's 25 years old. He's your age, 26 years old. In that generation, it's more important to be seen as a victim than it is to be seen as a champion. Literally. He got more clout for being a victim than being a champion. It was more advantageous. It was more lucrative for Colin Kaepernick to be a martyr than to be a quarterback in the NFL. It was more lucrative, financially lucrative, for him to be a martyr than him to be a mediocre NFL starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. That happens when there's an insidious plan put in place. That's not natural, I guess, is the overall point I'm getting to. This is not organic. It's not organic. Because naturally, we don't look at somebody that manufactures strife as somebody noble. We look at any of your friends that are a drama queen or that are, something bad is always happening to them. Eventually, you're always like, you're rolling your eyes like, oh, yeah. Every girl you date's crazy. Everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you are in a room full of assholes.
All the news against you are fake news. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean,
how is that not the same?
Because, David, this is why it's not the same, because you're not admitting that there was a coordinated effort, which almost everybody in the world admits. I don't understand how they've literally written articles about how our coordinated effort against Donald Trump saved democracy. They've taken a victory lap on it. So I'm not frustrated with Trump is self-aggrandizing narcissist. 100% agree with you. But you're not operating reality if you think that he got a fair shake from the media. Not operating reality if you think that Biden is being treated the same way Trump was.
No, I don't think Biden's being treated the same way. I just think they're also two distinct old people.
You think Trump deserved it?
Yeah.
Okay, but in saying Trump deserved it, you're admitting that he got different treatment.
Yes, I do. I agree. They are getting different treatments. Donald Trump kind of made it easy on himself.
Shouldn't have worn that dress, bro.
Talks like a caricature.
If she didn't want it, she shouldn't have worn a dress that short.
That's entirely different.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's victim blame.
One of them is like what we were talking about, being polite and having manners and like growing up with this set of being cordial. The other one is just a woman wearing a dress and getting raped for no reason. So it's completely different. It's entirely different. Donald Trump had it coming. Made it easy. Sure, it was coordinated. It was coordinated. They were like, this guy, easy effort. He's saying stupid shit. Just make fun of him. Make him look stupid. Do it for 4 years.
Sure. Gas is under $2. China's on the ropes.
COVID. gas was under $2 thanks to COVID.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's literally not true.
That's when it dropped.
It's literally not true.
That's when it dropped. No one was on the road, of course.
My
it's
God.
cheaper.
Oh man, we're gonna have to start fact checking David the Commie. I'm gonna lose my podcast because of yours. How hilarious would that be when they give me strikes because David the Commie's facts are off?
Well, see, to your point, they won't because I'm agreeing with the left.
That's the thing. Do you think the fact checkers are unbiased?
The fact checkers are unbiased. No, they're totally biased.
Totally biased, right?
We went through this with that interview, the Facebook moderator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're totally biased. There's an entire bias for the left. Left media wins.
Yeah.
It's the entertaining one. It's the one that victimizes themselves. People love victims. People love the underdog. So, like Patrick Mahomes, when he's like, "Pull me, I'll pick up basketball." It's hard being a multimillionaire black quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, people love that shit.
That's very recent. Wasn't that way when I was growing up.
Of course not.
You'd be a bitch. Like when I was growing up, like it was MTV Cribs. It was this is my house. This is what I got.
I'm a badass.
Look, yeah. It was, pimp my ride. It was not, van life. We should eat bugs, sustain the world. Like it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, do you agree?
It was about human achievement. It was about achievement. But achievement's hard. And I think the CRT getting into schools and to say that it's not is insane. And people that don't understand where it comes from, don't understand what critical theory is, don't understand the Frankfurt School, don't understand, what Marxism is. They don't understand how insidious this is. They got into the education system and they are rotting the shit out of kids. They don't want people achieving. They don't want, being a male is toxic. Being competitive is toxic. These are the things that made our country the most prosperous nation in the history of our species. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming from external factors. And I guess, we can have these debates all we want, but we need to get to the bottom of why it's happening. But again, if we can't even agree that it's happening, if we can't even see the reality in the same light, who's ever going to sit here and investigate what we can't even agree on is happening? How can we ever get to, dude, why is happening and who is doing this if we can't even agree that it is happening? That's the game that they're playing.
No, and I agree that, that everyone's getting a lot softer. Everyone's victimizing themselves. And I do hate it. I honestly do hate when someone's like, woe is me, my problems. I'm of the school of thought of like, fucking get over it. Like, shut up. Mm-hmm. Even to some other, like, maybe more severe cases of like some mental health, I tend to kind of just be like, shut up, get over it. Kind of, that's the way I grew up.
Love your opinion on Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato? Someone got addicted to crack.
I think it was heroin.
Or heroin?
Well, she's back to she, her now.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't the pronoun thing throws me for a loop. I don't dig it. But it's kind of a blanket for me too, where it's like Donald Trump, he was also a victim of my millions of dollars. Fuck you, you fucking indulgent piece of shit. Mm-hmm. You're also super annoying. Get out of here.
Sure. But everybody else is
no.
also...
I just said for those people on the left that are like, I'm a millionaire and I have problems. Yeah, fucking get over it. Some other issues, Macaulay Culkin, that guy, fucking Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, you kind of did it to yourself. All this shit, but you got like actual issues to take care of.
Sure.
I don't know if I feel necessarily bad, but it's like, okay, yeah, your childhood was stolen
in your generation
by your parents.
Your generation, being that you're 10 years younger than me. Do you think being a victim is worth more clout than being successful?
Yeah, I is it worth? Yeah, now it's
more social equity. More social equity.
Yeah, people root for the underdog. People like a victim. People like to go for the little guy, which is the whole thing for the left, right? It's like help the little guy, help black people, help minorities, help gays.
Why are black people and minorities the little guy, David?
Well, that's the way it's seen, right? It's the way they want you to believe that, like, hey. And there are some injustices, and there are some
but just think about balances. But think about how you're, and forgive me for cutting you off, but just think about that framing, because I think you're right. But I do want to point this out. By virtue of Patrick Mahomes being half black, he's a victim and an underdog. Again, a kid whose father was a Major League Baseball player, a guy who won the genetic lottery, throwing a 100-mile-an-hour arm on one of the most athletic bodies the world's ever seen, right? Grew up in a wealthy neighborhood in Dallas, Texas, went to a private high school, was drafted out of high school, went to a college for free on a full scholarship, was a first-round draft pick in the NFL. So whatever millions of dollars he grew up with, he was his own millionaire by 21 years old. He's going to be a billionaire. He's been successful. He's been a child prodigy who has had success every step of the way. But by proxy of his father being black, this guy gets a victim card? No. And in your mind, he's an underdog.
And not in my mind. I don't know if maybe audio's not coming in right. No, I don't. I do not think Patrick Mahomes is a victim of the street ball thing.
LeBron James. Do you think LeBron James had a rough life?
I don't know LeBron James' upbringing, but I know your whole spiel about like hundreds of years ago he would have had to do.
He's been a multimillionaire since he was 17 years old.
Exactly.
He's been a legit.
Financially, he's been fine. Yeah, there's no issue.
Think about this. LeBron James has been worth $100 million for longer in his life than he hasn't been.
Yeah.
Tough life. He had a rough first 15 years. He really did with a single mom. First 15 was tough. It's been pretty gravy since. Again, victim?
No. Isn't this also just the argument behind like the grass is always greener? Like, I don't fucking know what LeBron has to deal with. Maybe I don't even fucking want the LeBron lifestyle, all that attention on me constantly.
I don't know, bro. I think again,
never seen a sad guy on a jet ski.
There you go. My point becomes it's inorganic. It's not natural. It's not natural for people to have so much success. I'm not even worried about the money. I'm not sitting here trying to count people's money. God bless. The success that they've had is what should be celebrated. The success. But for some reason, and again, this to me is an endemic of the left. It's like in order to be one of us, you have to show struggle. It's these struggle sessions. Have you ever heard of a struggle session?
No.
Pull up a struggle session. Pull it up.
Struggle session?
Yeah, pull up struggle session. Pull up struggle session. And then I've never heard anyone refer to Patty Mahomes as a victim. Patrick Mahomes did it. Literally, Patrick Mahomes referred to himself as a victim. Come on, guys. How did Trump make gas prices go down? What policy? Be specific. Google's free, bro. Google's free. Domestic drilling, number 1. Keystone pipeline, number 2. Stop it.
It's called COVID, bro.
You guys are ridiculous, man. Can't even operate
Struggle
in the same realities.
sessions.
Go ahead.
Struggle-sessions. I don't like the look of it, Gerard. Everyone go to struggle.
No. Just go Wikipedia. Struggle sessions. There you go. Tell me what struggle sessions are.
Were violent public spectacles in, excuse me, I might butcher this, Maoist China?
Maoist.
Yeah. Thank you.
Chairman Mao.
I don't fucking pay attention to that side.
I hear it. Yeah.
People accused of being...
He killed 5 times as many people as Hitler.
Okay, gotcha.
But he's a communist, so it's okay.
Well, you should have led with that. Where people accused of being class enemies of the Maoists were publicly humiliated, accused, beaten, tortured by people that they were close to. Is that what you think we did to Trump?
So check it out. No.
Is this what you're trying to get at?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So what they would do is they would find these people who were rich and famous in the Republic of China. And this is very interesting to know now because a lot of these people left and formed Taiwan, which is at the epicenter of what they're trying to create World War III on. So a lot of the rich, famous aristocrats of China saw it happening and voluntarily did it to themselves. They voluntarily would get in the middle and apologize for their success and apologize for their wealth, and because they didn't want the mob to attack them. So these struggle sessions started happening where they attacked a few people, quote unquote cancel culture, whatever you want to call it, and then half the people left, and the other half of the people that stayed cowed to the mob and said, "I am so sorry. I am so wrong. This is privilege. This is this, blah, blah, blah."
So they would get tortured for their
success.
For their success.
For being class criminals.
Were people accused of being class enemies?
Yep.
The Maoists.
Yes.
Were publicly humiliated.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now check out Cultural Revolution. Tell me what it says about cultural revolution. Tell me if any of this sounds remotely familiar to you.
So you believe this is the struggle sessions is something that's happening?
Anybody that understands the history of Bolshevism understands pretty much exactly what's happening culturally right now. This has all happened before, and the real problem with it becomes it's successful. It works. And I've been really introspective lately on why do I hate communism so much? What is my knee-jerk reaction to rejecting everything that is this modern progressive left? And I think I've come to the conclusion that it is less of a intellectual impasse, and it is more of it's less of an intellectual impasse with people I disagree with, right? And I honestly believe it's an autoimmune response that my body is having, that my intellect, my instincts are having to what I perceive as severe danger. Knowing the history that I know, knowing the history a lot of people know, it's not just me, it's all this stuff's out there. I think one of the things that concern me the most is like Klaus Schwab, the WEF, Xi Jinping, they're not hiding what their plans are. The information's out there. They're looking for a global federalist communist government, and that's what they're going to do. And in order to do that, they have to destroy the West. There's a literal culture war going on right now. And I don't think this is an intellectual struggle. I think that this is a struggle for the very way of life, our quality of life, how we live. And I think that my rejection of all things communist and therefore all things modern left is an autoimmune response to this. I really do. I think instinctually I see this as a threat to our well-being. And that's where the rejection comes in. So what's the Cultural Revolution?
Oh, the Cultural Revolution.
For people asking, Dave is 26 years old.
It was. I need to get just like a clear-cut definition of it. Was a socio-political movement in the People's Republic of China, PRC, launched by Mao Zedong in 1966 and lasting until its death in 1976.
But what is it though? Like what go through the tenets of it.
Yeesh. I mean,
just click on the Wikipedia, bro. Go down.
Its stated goal was to preserve Chinese communism by purging remnants of capitalist and traditional elements from Chinese society, and to reimpose Mao Zedong thought as the dominant ideology in the PRC.
Mm-hmm. How did they do it?
Launching the movement and with the help of Cultural Revolution Group, Mao charged the where was this Marxism?
Mm-hmm.
Elements that had infiltrated the government and society with the aim of restoring capitalism. Mao called on the young people to bombard the headquarters. Oh, interesting. Who else called on someone to bombard some headquarters?
Maxine Waters and
who else
Kamala
though? Who was that guy? What was his name?
If you can find me one quote of Donald Trump telling people to, David, I'll give you $1,000 right here on the air if you can find one quote.
Dude, he did a speech. He's like, we're gonna walk over there. Walk over to the Capitol and tell them what you think.
And he said charge the Capitol?
Essentially. And proclaimed that to rebel is justified.
Mm-hmm.
The youth responded by storming the Capitol. By forming Red Guards and rebel groups around the country.
Mm-hmm.
A selection of Mao's sayings were compiled into the Little Red Book.
The Little Red Book.
Which became a sacred text for Mao's personality cult.
One of his famous quotes, do the work.
Yeah, do the work, make America great. No, make China great again. Mm-hmm. They held denunciation rallies against revisionists regularly and grabbed power by local governments and CPC branches, eventually establishing the Revolutionary Committees in 1967.
Destruction of the Four Olds. Between August and November 1966, 8 mass rallies were held in which 12 million people from all over the country, most of whom were Red Guards, participated. The government bore the expense of the Red Guards traveling around the country, exchanging revolutionary experiences. At the Red Guard rallies, Lin Biao also called for the destruction of the four olds, namely old customs, old culture, old habits, and old ideas. A revolutionary fever swept the country by storm, with Red Guards acting as its most prominent warriors. Some changes associated with the Four Olds campaign were mainly benign, such as assigning new names to city streets, places, and even people. Are we doing any of that? Are we renaming schools? Are we renaming streets? Are we renaming things right now? Are we tearing down statues and replacing them with new woke things? Interestingly enough, I think we are, David. Although I may be living in a different reality than you, but I think we are. Various historical sites throughout the country were destroyed. The damage was particularly pronounced in the capital. Red Guards also laid siege to the Temple of Confucius in Shaodong Province. The numerous other historically significant tombs and artifacts were attacked as well. Libraries full of historical and foreign text were destroyed. Books were burned. Are there things being taken down off of Wikipedia today? Are there videos being taken down off of YouTube? Are there people being shadow banned and demonetized? Is that something that's happening? Could that be construed by crazy conspiracy theorists, of course, as digital book burning? I don't know. Some crazy people might say so. Look,
go ahead.
Religion was looked upon as a means of hostile foreign infiltration, as well as an instrument of the ruling class. It's not like religion is under attack right now either. Yeah.
Donald Trump held a rally called Save America after he lost. And I never lose. After every loss, he says he never loses.
Sure.
And he says
well, listen, before we go forward, all right? And I'm not going to go as far as to say that he didn't lose. He did lose. But do you think that there were no anomalies in that election?
There always is.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always anomalies.
Yeah, there's always some sort.
There's always cities.
It's never a clean cut thing. And if you think every election is like clean and cut,
there's always cities that they always stop counting votes and then come back and find 800,000 votes for just one candidate.
A lot of mail-in votes, just. But back to Donald Trump.
There's always cities with more votes than registered voters.
Back to Donald Trump's Save America. Now, because that fucking shit like that happens, it just
because he deserved it, right? Because he deserved it.
We won this election, and we won it by a landslide. Donald
Word
Trump.
up. Most popular president in United States history, Joe Biden.
Yeah, that's how bad Trump was. We will stop the steal. We will never give up. We will never concede.
Sure.
It doesn't happen. Okay, Chavez. If you don't fight like hell, you're not gonna have a country anymore.
Sure. And I'm waiting for the storm the Capitol quote. Let's go.
Well, there it is.
Fight like hell.
I mean, come on.
Fight like hell. Chuck Schumer says that in every single quote.
Chuck Schumer isn't the president of the United States after a stolen election, quote unquote.
Oh my God, Chuck Schumer is the fourth most powerful person in America.
Oh, this is the first one.
He's not. He's out.
He was at that time.
Do you think Donald Trump's more powerful than Chuck Schumer right now? You're nuts. You're out of your mind.
At that time?
Oh no, he was out already.
But not according to him. We will never concede.
Yeah.
Not according to him.
Sure. I kind of hate you for making me defend Donald Trump here, but you're not living in reality, bro. You're not living in reality.
Dude, you think he's a victim of something.
He was 100% a victim of coordinated media attacks. And if you don't think so, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
you want less... do better, bro.
Do better with what? Country? Do you think the country's better today than it was 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
No, it's in shambles.
I mean, being serious, you think the country's in better shape today than it was 4 years ago?
No, it's in shambles.
Yeah, so I don't understand. Like, the country was doing pretty well.
My thing is, this isn't about the country right now. I'm talking about how Donald Trump make himself a victim.
Okay, but
me, they stole it from me. I lose because they stole it.
But I mean, dude, they
didn't steal it. You lost because you're a jackass.
There's a ton of evidence that fucking. Again, I mean, we're not operating in the same reality. He
got impeached twice.
He did. By who? Okay. He got impeached twice by who?
Loser. I don't want a loser as my fucking president. I don't want this old man either. I didn't even want him in the beginning.
You voted for Joe Biden.
Didn't want Trump.
Joe Biden lost to a Huffy.
Exactly.
And by the way, COVID's over, guys. It's over.
Monkeypox now.
If COVID,
do you want to get into monkeypox?
If COVID can't take down Joe Biden, when this guy gets beat by a teleprompter once a week,
yeah,
that's it. The lockdowns are over. Take your fucking masks off.
Joey B's got COVID right now, no?
Forever. 9 shots in, 8 shots in, 25 shots in. Still got it.
Would have killed him if he hadn't gotten those shots.
Thank God for Big Pharma. Thank God for it. God bless.
Listen, what are your thoughts on monkeypox?
My thoughts on monkeypox.
It seems like COVID just ended, and now we got to worry about monkeypox.
Well, do you have a lot of gay sex?
Well, Jesus Christ.
Then I don't think you got to worry about monkeypox.
Dude, your MAGA hat is peeking out of the It's not just through gay sex.
How do you get it?
You get it through face-to-face contact,
it's not
by
just,
touching touching things
it's
that
not
people
just
with
through
monkeypox.
gay sex. Trending on Twitter, 3rd article down. Vox, how America's monkeypox response is failing queer men. Okay.
The CDC? Have you looked at the CDC?
Those guys are always on.
Well, have you seen how they're saying that it's spreading?
Sure. How? What do I got to do? Wash my hands? Stay 6 feet apart?
You got to wear a mask. No, I'm just kidding. You got to wear 3 masks. No, we'll go through the CDC guidelines, but essentially it's just like you can just get
These guys can wear 2 masks all day. They can't wear a condom once.
It's not just through sex. Also, it's not just gay sex. What is this? The fucking 60s with AIDS again? Like, it's not a gay virus.
80s was AIDS, but yeah.
I don't fucking know. It's all the past to me.
That could have some people say. I figured out how to get away from the bans. I can't make declarative statements. I have to preface things with, isn't it possible that it came from the government?
Let's see.
Isn't it possible? Couldn't it be true? Some people say, that's how I have to couch everything I say now to stay away from these freaking tech tyrants. Isn't it possible? Some people have claimed.
Monkeypox.
Yeah, go ahead.
How to prevent monkeypox.
Yep. Tell us how to prevent monkeypox. Go.
Well, first you got to protect yourself. Avoid close skin-to-skin contact with people who have a rash that looks like monkeypox. Don't touch rash or scabs of people with monkeypox. Don't kiss, hug, cuddle, or have sex with someone with monkeypox. Seems pretty obvious, right? You don't want to get shot, just shot.
Stay away from people with guns pointed at you.
Yeah, exactly. Avoid contact with objects and materials that a person with monkeypox has used. Don't share eating utensils or cups. Don't handle or touch bedding, towels, or clothing of a person with monkeypox.
Okay.
Wash your hands often with soap.
Let's go back to the early days of AIDS. Tony Fauci, by the way. You want to hear the early days of AIDS? What people thought you'd get AIDS?
Go on.
How do you think people thought you got AIDS in the early days? Well, trust the science, damn you. Science is never wrong.
Was it I don't know. Back in the 80s, I'm guessing it was like a big gay thing.
They thought that you can get it by being in the same room with a gay man. They thought that you can get it from sweat. When Magic Johnson caught it, the biggest threat early on was people thought that, it was like a flu, like you can get it from his sweat bumping into you. They thought that you can get it from again.
But that was how many years ago?
I'm not getting. Oh, yeah. No, science has really evolved. It's really evolved.
You don't think science has evolved? One of the topics you said is that technology is going forward. I think
science is corrupted, bro. I think science has evolved. I also told you that there's a woman who did the climate change research, and the climate change came out different than she expected, and they shelved the article. Right. That's what I think. Am I anti-science, David? No, of fucking course not. But do I think science is corrupted? Yes. Do I think the science, the quote-unquote science that we're being shown is the full story? Absolutely not. We're being manipulated, bro. Some would say, I'm sorry, I can't make declarative statements, otherwise I get banned. Some might argue we're being manipulated. Some might argue this is propaganda. Some might argue statistics don't lie, but liars use statistics. For example, okay, there are 8 billion people on Earth, right? Mm-hmm. And there are 2 billion people in China, okay?
Okay.
So it's a scientific fact that 1 out of every 4 people on Earth is Chinese. Okay. Yes?
Sure.
Can you argue with that?
Makes sense.
Scientific fact. So if you had 3 kids and you were about to have a 4th kid, science would dictate that kid is probably going to be Chinese.
probabilities. Yeah.
So, that's the science. That's statistics. That's obviously fucking wrong. It's not nuanced. Like, for example, one of the things that, again, you want to talk about my MAGA hat on. The political theater of the left is driving me out of my mind. You know, they're doing it to try to rally the troops for midterms, fine, whatever. But this is like the most shameless politics I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not mad at the politicians for doing it. I'm mad at the millions of people eating it up. When AOC and Ilhan Omar faked their arrest, and then it got retweeted, and Vox, you sent it to me, Vox had the article showing them handcuffed behind. That's just straight propaganda.
Yeah.
That's state propaganda.
No, I agree.
Nobody should ever read another word Vox puts out ever again after that. That was a salacious lie.
I agree.
Right?
Let me cut the camera to me real quick. I agree. I think AOC is cringy for doing that and for doing a lot of other things. I agree.
This is what power looks like.
Cringe.
This is what...
Boo. Pandering. Lame.
Blackface is bad, but black voice is okay.
No. Black scents are not okay. That's... If you are a white person and your buddy brings his black friend around and all of a sudden you go, hey, what's up, my man? That's racist. That's weird.
We talked about this.
Don't do that.
You saw the Yale article about that, the Yale study.
I did.
Where there was. What are your thoughts on that? Because you hang in a
I think
younger,
people
hip, more liberal crowd. So for people that don't know, the study had 1,000 self-proposed 500 liberals, 500 conservatives. And they had a control group of a black male of the same age as a white male. And they'd have the people come into the room and have a one-on-one 5-minute conversation with the one person and then a one-on-one 5-minute conversation with the other. And what they found, to their shock, dismay, and I'm sure horror at Yale, was that the more conservative-leaning people talked to the white people the exact same way they talk to the black people. Whereas the more liberal leaning dumbed down their language and used more urban and colloquial phrases.
Phrasing.
Yeah, where they
use the black scent, ladies and gentlemen.
Basically, yeah. So like the conservative would talk to the white guy like, hey, what's up, dude? And then would talk to the black guy like, hey, what's up, dude? But the liberal would talk to the white guy like, hey, what's up, dude? And then be like, yo, what's cracking, my dude? Like, and we know people who do this.
Oh, yeah.
And so this was confirmed, right? But you actually had an interesting point about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think people just want to relate to them. They want to relate to the person that they're sitting in front of. And honestly, I think they just feel they feel like they need to be accepted by black people. And they need to be like, I'm one of you. I'm cool. What's up, my man?
Sure.
And I think... And I'm
but
speaking out of term a little bit because I don't know what anyone's feeling or thinking, but I feel like black people are like, don't do that. Why are you?
Well, yeah.
See, and I try to, sorry to keep interrupting, but I try and, point that out whenever I see it. Back at the old place we used to work at, there was this young lady, and I don't give a shit as her name, and it was Faith. And we had another coworker, and she was Southern. She was just black woman, and she would be like, she'd have her accent, but every time Faith would be around her,
from Chicago, by the way, but whatever.
Was she?
Yeah.
There you go. What do I know? But she had her, she had her fucking personality, and Faith would always switch. Would be like, "Girl, what you talk?" And I'd be like, "Faith, what are you doing? Why are you talking like that? Why are you talking like that?
Yeah.
You never talk like that. Why are you talking like that?
Yeah.
Man, shut up." I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you talking like that?
Moving? Why is your head moving? Yeah.
Why is your head bobbing?
Yeah, and this is one of the things that like really struck me early on, especially in comedy, because I saw this shit happening. And I guess, being an athlete, I grew up, in a diverse environment in Jersey and New York, being an athlete, being in locker rooms. When I would see it happening, like what you're saying, and I'd be like, bro, what are you fucking doing?
Why are you talking like that?
What are you doing? Like you're being a herb, bro. You're being a cornball. Like, what's this Malibu Most Wanted shit, bro?
Call it out next time you see it.
I do. I sent this study to another coworker of ours who did not enjoy it. So the point I'm trying to make is, man, is like I always thought, and that was one of the things that really turned me off to the left early on, because I was like, this is the racist shit. Like, you assume every one of these dudes is DMX, like. You know, and what's crazy about the study was like when they asked the black guys, they were like, bro, I'm at Yale. Like, why are you talking like you're condescending me?
Yeah.
And that's what I never understood. And that's what I still don't understand about kind of the whole leftist mentality of like, they need our help. They need me.
Yeah. They need me.
They need me.
Yeah.
Like we talked about in our last podcast, like the left treats minorities as if they're plants that will wither and die without their sunshine. Yeah. Like they treat them like pets that need to be taken out and fed and you know, all these things. And
it's even because of that word you just
They
used.
turn it around on me and guys like me and call us racist when we don't do that. When I sit there and I say, no, my dude's got it. Like, he's fine. He doesn't need your help. You don't think that they have problems? Yeah, they got problems. We got problems. Everybody's got problems. It's a tough world, man. No, but their problems are real. Their problems are serious problems.
Not Patrick Mahomes though. He has no problem.
Patrick Mahomes has less problems. The fact that Patrick Mahomes, all right, thinks that it's better for his career or had to get it off his chest that he has it tough because his father's skin color, I guess his skin color by proxy, when categorically this guy has had one of the most privileged lives ever lived by any human. By any measure, he's had one of the most privileged lives by any human. But we still got to sit here for an entire news cycle and feel bad that somebody said Patrick Mahomes street balls. Oof.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Oof.
Again, prayers up for Patty Mahomes, man.
Let's get back to what we were talking about though. The black scent and switching up like that's racist, and that's coming from people that are claiming to like be stand up against racism and all this. If you switch up and you try to relate, maybe you have good intentions, but like, just talk to people the way they're people.
Sure.
Not just. Why don't people do that with people of other races? An Indian guy, a Chinese woman.
Oh man! Now if you want to go crazy with that,
Why is it only with a black person that some people tend to switch?
Because there's a very weird sub-dom thing going on.
Yeah, there is.
There's a very weird sub-dom thing going on in the American left where there's like, you've oppressed me. Yeah, I've been a bad oppressor, daddy. I've been bad oppressor, daddy.
I deserve punishment.
Yeah, punish me, daddy. I've been so bad. You've been a bad little colonizer. I've been a bad colonizer.
Oh, that's so fucking bad.
It's so gross, bro.
You're right. There is a weird sub-dom thing.
There's a nuts thing. There's this whole thing trending on TikTok right now. This woman did a whole thing about if you're white and if you're really an ally and if you have BLM and you're her name's like Lady Lavender. And if you're really an ally, you will not see Nazi. You will not see Jesus. You will not see Black Panther this weekend.
You will
buy, and it's just the way that she's speaking too, and like these affirmatives. You will buy a ticket, and you will give that ticket to a black person who can't afford it.
I wanted to see that.
And then you will stand outside and make sure no harm comes from your people. Yeah, like dude, I swear to God, you got to see the video. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. And then the duets, it's been duetted and like stitched, retweeted 100,000 times of these quote unquote allies. All these,
dude, but that's the thing.
All these purple hair pronouns with like assignment received, assignment received,
mission complete,
assignment understood. If you're a real ally, and they're doing the Wakanda thing with their head down, like bowing, dude. They pray to these people. Yeah, her name's Lady Lavender. Go on TikTok.
Dude,
look at.
Well, see, what's funny is that that's like a very
play it in your microphone. Look for it, and then when you find it, play it. It's Lady Lavender.
Lady Lavender. All
yeah.
Right, one sec. No, but what I was saying is, we kind of talked about it a little bit last podcast where people that are my friends, so I tell them about the show that we do and all that, and I mentioned what we talked about, that there are some people on the left that go a little too extreme, and like most of my friends are on the left, but they even see those people as crazy. And so I talked to my friend. He's like, yeah, man, I've got some like extreme ass friends that like are going off about some crazy shit about defunding the police and all that shit. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then what? So it's like,
but
yes
they'll say
and no.
it quietly to you. They won't say it publicly. That's the difference.
Maybe.
That's the difference.
Yeah, that's true. Lady Lavender, you said?
Yeah, it's like LA.
I'm looking this up on YouTube.
No, it's on TikTok. Lady Lavender. And shout out to TikTok, by the way. We're already at 1,200 views. That's what's up.
All right.
You guys are, you don't think Trump was responsible for January 6th. Do I think Trump was responsible? Sure. Do I think the FBI was responsible? Absolutely. Do I think that we have a lot of false flags going? Wait, no, I didn't say it. I didn't say that. No, I said, what I meant to say was, is it possible? Could it be possible that Trump was involved in January 6th? Sure. Could it be possible? What's up?
Which one? Oh, it's a white lady. Is it a white lady?
Just play one of the stitches. Lady Lavender, about the new Black Panther movie. Let's go, Jamie. Shit.
Dude, I mean, there's a bunch of...
Just go to the first one, bro. Lady Lavender.
I don't think this is the first one, King. That's the first one.
Yeah. The next one. That is it.
That's her?
No. But that's a guy stitching it. Go to the next one. Go to the one with the woman with the dog collar. Yeah, that's it. Let me see. No, that's not it.
No, that's not it.
No, dude, no, bro.
I looked up Lady Lavender.
Bring, come on over here. Come on over here. Come on.
I get to make it to the desk.
Come on over here, David. Jeez Louise. It's a punk rock production, folks. It's a punk rock production. You guys get to see Comedy David in the life. It's first of all, I think it's like Lady, something like that. Lady.
Oh, okay. It's got a special.
Typing
here, ladies and gentlemen. We weren't aware.
Yeah. Lavender. Yeah. Something like that. Jeez. That's not it either. This is good. I'm going to give it 2 more seconds and then we're, here.
If you really want to prove to black people that you love us and you care about us and you are down for the cause, do not go see that movie opening weekend. You buy your ticket, you give it to a black person or a black family who can't afford to go. And then you go sit at that theater in front of the doors. You make sure that every black person in that theater can enjoy that movie in peace. You make sure that you use your body to block us from anybody who would be coming in that theater to do us harm. Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
For Black Panther?
Yeah, okay. So, okay, fair enough. As all the hundreds of Antifa retweets and stitches say, assignment understood. Now here's where things get iffy here. All right, and this is where they hate. This is why they hate capitalism to no end. Okay?
Sorry, bro, I can't hang out this weekend. I gotta go guard the AMC door. You're working at AMC now? No. I just saw this TikTok about.
We do not do that here. Yeah, dude. So here's the thing. All right. What percentage of America do you think is black?
Oh, we can just look that up.
No, just off the top of your head.
I want to say, I don't know, 30, 40, 50?
30, 40, 50%?
30? I don't want to say a number too low, and I don't want to say a number too high.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't know, Gerard.
Yeah.
The word minority seems dated.
I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe 13% of the population is black.
I'm looking it up.
Yep.
Here it is. No, not it. In 2020, the black or African American alone population, 4.1 million, accounted for 12.4% of all people living in the United States.
12.4.
That was 2020. Was that before or after all the police injustice?
Oh yeah, no. I think that's what it was. Really.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Cool.
I think it was. I think you were right. I think it was 50-50 at one time, and then just like yeah.
Well,
Because I mean that. Let's be honest. I mean, you know, if we're gonna get canceled, let's get canceled. I mean, media would have us believe like it's 50-50, right? Like it's like a 50-50
No,
population.
media would make
like,
us believe that it's a lot less black people and that's a lot more white people, and that's why.
Is that right?
Yeah, of course. That's the whole thing. It's that they're minorities, right?
Yeah. So, but that's why, you know, every show is one white, one minority, or
Well, that's just
is it
like the left
represent-
trying to be inclusive.
Is it inclusive, or is it like, wow, there's a massive percentage of this population that's being
No, it's just like
overrepresented?
you got to have a black character. You saw they're making a reboot of That 70s Show, calling That 90s Show, and there's going to be a gay Asian dude on there.
Sure, why
Like,
not?
of course there is.
Sure.
Why?
Sure.
Why have him on there? Why?
Sure. I mean, look, they made Emily Dickinson black. Why not? Go for it.
Did you know that they're doing a thing of Annie? They're doing another Annie, and she's a trans Asian girl.
Is that true? They're not calling it. Oh, here we go. You're setting it up. I see it. Nope, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Oh, man.
Well, you wouldn't be shocked if it was
No, bro.
called a tranny.
Shit. That's why your favorite restaurant is Room 40. Room for these nuts. Shout out to Bussin' with the Boys, JP. Played some pickleball with the producer at Bussin' with the Boys. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is that how many people is that, David?
That's 41.1 million.
41.1 million people all right, 41.1 million. How much is a movie ticket? $15?
Yeah, just say 12.
What's 41.1 million times 12?
You're thinking every black person?
Every single one, the infants, every single one.
41.1, even the elderly?
Sure, times 12.
Times 12?
Yep.
That can't be one. Oh, sorry. 1.1. 41 million. 41 million times 12.
Yep.
492 million.
492 million. Dope. Awesome. That is 1/5 of what Black Panther made last time around. That would barely cover expenses. If every single person, the infants, the ones being born right now, the ones 2 days away from their deathbed, every single one went to every movie theater and paid full price for it, they'd lose $800 million.
Wow.
So from people who keep talking about exclusivity, from people who talk about inclusivity, representation matters, there was a guy who was really, really intelligent on a podcast saying, man, Juneteenth sucks because it's all about anger.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
This is the shit I'm talking about. Now, this is what bothers me.
You sound like that kid that didn't get invited to a party.
So
and
let
you're
me
like, it sucks.
so let me turn around and give a solution here, right? Where are the cool black dudes going, yo, she's an idiot, you can come? Like, where is the person going, Patrick Mahomes, look, that was a moment of weakness. Why don't you calm your ass down? Why don't you spend a weekend at St. Jude's Cancer Ward for Children and say, man, was that really a struggle that I had to deal with that word? Was that really tough? Right? Where are the people? Because people like me are easy to ignore. I mean, you've painted me as a MAGA guy this whole time. People like me are easy to ignore.
You're defending Trump the entire time.
Yeah, because I'm defending reality. It's not Trump. I'm defending reality.
Sounds like MAGA.
So where are the people from that side of the aisle? Where are your friends that are admitting that, man, this is getting a little crazy, but they'll do it quietly to you? Whispers over brunch.
Yeah.
Where are they online? Where are they going, man, this is fucked?
I don't want to get canceled.
Is that what it is?
Canceled.
So, but think about it. If that's how it is, what does that say about your people? I can't be honest to my people. Well, if I can't be honest, if I'm so afraid of how my people react to reality, to my truth, are they really my people? And if I am that afraid of how my people react to my truth, why are they my people?
Yeah.
That's all. That's the question I got to ask. And again, I think it has to come down to circling all the way back to the beginning. People don't know how to handle discomfort.
Yeah. I think I agree. Yep. That's 100% true. People don't, so they don't want to have that conflict.
We don't have the uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
We don't have the conflict. We just put our headphones on and turn our lives onto something that agrees with us. We can source out as much not source out, what would be the word I'm looking for? We can search out as much confirmation bias as we need on a daily basis. We can get anything we need that reaffirms what we already believe. And we are so uncomfortable with discomfort, and the younger generation even more so, to not even be able to have this conversation. I am uncomfortable for a lot of people to be around because of my willingness to not give a fuck. Like, somebody wants to come up to our dinner table and say some ratchet shit to a dog and interrupt us. I got up off the dinner table and I went and had a conversation with the dude.
Well, more than a conversation, but yeah.
And then I come back and I sit down and everybody's looking at me like I'm the one that's crazy. And the only thing going through my mind is how many other tables did that guy walk past on that block doing that ratchet shit, and everybody was just like, "Oh, keep your head down. Keep your head down. Keep your head down." Whatever. Like, again, I just feel like where I grew up, the environment I grew up in, that specific guy I'm talking about, he would have made it one table.
Yeah.
He would have made it one table. He would have talked shit to one table, and that would have been the end of it. And God forbid, if he made it to a second table, he'd have had a rough night. He'd have had a bad one. Way worse than he had it. Right? And I sit there and I think to myself, man, that's incredible that this guy,
what a wonderful.
Like how that guy was walking for blocks.
Yeah.
Talking shit to everybody. Then gets to us and just chose the wrong one.
Yeah.
Can't go after Mr. Meats like that. No, I'll
Shout out
defend
Mr. Meatball.
Yeah, I'll defend Mr. Meat's honor to the.
That's Nancy's dog, ladies.
But
Mr. Meats.
The point I'm trying to make is, like, how many tables did that guy walk past?
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen anymore.
It's a big metaphor for life, I guess, right?
Kind of, right?
Like, not in life, but like today.
Yeah.
How many times could you really get away with this until you just cross the wrong one?
That's it.
Which is what we've been talking about behind the scenes. It's like, yeah, man, it's going to be like this for a while. And then it's just going to break. And then it's going to flip 180 again.
Well, that's what we're going to end on, man, because we're talking about, what do we want? What do we need? I don't think that this is salvageable.
Oh,
I really don't.
I don't like that.
I don't think that this is salvageable. I think that I understand the language of violence pretty well, and I understand the language of power pretty well. And these people don't think anything's ever going to happen to them. The Hunter Biden can smoke as much crack with as many hookers and sell as many state secrets as he wants, and nothing is ever going to happen to him. But there's a huge contingent on the left that really want them to really push. Like, there's a huge contingent on the left that wants a one-party system. They think of everything outside of them as just inherently evil. They think of anybody, forget Republicans. If you had the audacity to vote third party, you're the worst of the worst. Yeah. You're the worst of the worst. Like, you're helping them. Like, but you're helping them, but you won't even be one of them. So I can outwardly hate you. Like that's like they're lost. They're religious extremists. They're lost. This is their religion, and they are religious extremists. They go in and they continue down the path they're going, and they indict Trump. What's going to happen is you're going to be in a position where it's no holds barred, where you can be in a red state and they can be like, you know what? We're going to play by Democrat rules. Go march, go riot. And I'm not going to prosecute you. And once those people get the green light, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. Oof. See, like right now, everybody on the left, you talk about coded language. Like the warriors on the left, they know they've got the green light. Nothing's going to happen. Remember in Missouri when people were marching through the streets and, BLM went into the communities, the gated communities, and then the old white couple with the guns, they were Democrats, bro. And the prosecutor, the DA for St. Louis, brought charges on that couple. Now they ended up getting thrown out, But they got charges for defending their property while an angry mob was marching through. That's two sets of rules. If that switches, if Greg Abbott realizes he's going to lose Texas, and Greg Abbott is going to lose Texas, and Brian Kemp realizes he's going to lose Georgia, and Kemp is going to lose Georgia, and they decide, you know what? We're just going to play by Democrat rules.
Can't beat them, join them.
Can't beat them, emulate them.
Emulate them.
Now it's our turn to march. Now, hey, you know what? We need mail-in ballots because our cities are under attack, right? And they start doing these mass intimidation tactics. Do you think the left is going to just go inside? Do you think the left's going to call it? Or do you think that there'll be battles in the streets? There will 100% be battles in the streets. So
some riots.
The only thing that's stopping this from escalating into literal gang warfare, armed conflict, is nobody on the right has given the green light. And when that happens, that's as close to a civil war as you can get. The left knows they're not going to get prosecuted. They do whatever they want to do because they know they're not going to get prosecuted. The left is showing the right what happens when you step out against them by putting 60-year-old women who have cancer in jail for 6 months for January 6th. There's people in jail for 7 years for January 6th for walking through the Capitol, which is pretty audacious when entire cities burnt to the ground without a single person getting arrested.
They did a lot more than walk.
Okay, what'd they do?
I'll show you a video. It was
Sure.
all over the news. I can't believe
What'd they do? Were they let in?
Oh, they broke some windows.
Whew, 7 years. If it was a Nike store, they'd get away for free. If it was a Target, they'd get a retweet from Maxine Waters. You can't continue. You can't continue in a world where there's two sets of rules, right? And there's a certain level of, well, it's our turn now, right? Because there was two sets of rules. There was the Jim Crow South, and that was fucked up, and that was wrong, right? But we're also of an age where we didn't grow up with that. You didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
Right? So, the pendulum swinging to the fact that there's, two sets of rules, two sets of justices, depending on your political affiliation, right? You think it's okay that people are stalking Supreme Court justices they disagree with? That they're, organizing outside of their houses? How do they find out where these people's houses are, first of all?
Don't worry about it.
Exactly. So, yeah.
I don't feel bad
There's
for politicians.
Well, that's the thing, right? There's a certain level.
You want me to feel bad for Ted Cruz can't eat a dinner?
So there you go.
Do you feel bad for Ted Cruz?
Do you feel bad for AOC?
No.
Yeah, I don't. So this is my point, right?
Do you feel bad for Ted Cruz can't enjoy a dinner? Fuck you. Why should you ever enjoy anything? Fuck you.
Sure.
Sell out. All politicians are evil to me. Every
Sure.
single one of them.
Fine. But there's also
Kavanaugh, rapist.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
You think he did it?
Why not?
Okay. 30 years. So there's a girl that you went to college with in 25 years from now.
Time says she didn't get raped.
You're half a lifetime away from now, and some girl that you don't even remember comes out and says David raped me. You think that's like, wow, okay.
If I raped her.
Did you rape her?
Did I?
It's 30 years from now.
What does the time have to do with it?
The rape was that she was drunk.
Doesn't mean she wasn't raped.
I guess. I'll tell you what. The one thing is.
Don't know if she was or wasn't. I'm not saying she was or
I
wasn't.
don't know if it was or
not saying
wasn't,
she
but the whole
wasn't.
thing was sus, bro. If you don't think it was sus, I mean, she waits 30 years to come forward with it, first of all. But his reaction was super sus, where he was like crying about it. Like if somebody accused me of rape and I didn't rape him, I'd be like, yo, this fucking bitch is crazy.
Exactly.
The fact that you were crying and be like, oh, I don't know what happened. Like his reaction was nuts. I'd be like, the fact that you even
Exactly.
justified it is sus.
Thank you.
So I'll give you.
But yeah, no, I don't give a shit about them. Yeah, go ahead, make them uncomfortable. What are they gonna do? Go live in their fucking ivory tower? Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't get to enjoy anything. Same thing. Fuck politicians. Every single one of them.
Okay.
Why can't I make them uncomfortable?
Because they're citizens.
I don't give a shit. They're not to me. They're not citizens. They're above everything. They get away with so much
Yeah, but
shit.
they
All these
shouldn't.
pedos on Epstein Island. Fuck them. Fuck all of them.
Which
I'm not
ones?
putting the camera on.
Which ones?
Whoever was on there, dude. I don't know. I wasn't there because I'm not a fucking pedo. Ted Cruz, probably there. Look at him. Look at his weird little lips.
It's interesting that you go to Ted Cruz.
That's the first one I remember.
Not Bill Clinton. Not
Bill
Anthony.
Clinton. Fuck him.
Not Anthony Weiner.
Fuck him.
Don't even know who he is, do you?
Fuck him. Was he in politics?
Yeah.
Was he on the left?
Yeah.
Fuck him. No, but seriously, I don't give a shit. Make them uncomfortable.
So what happens here now? Guy like you.
Yeah.
Prime age.
Sure.
They start war with China. You
Okay.
going?
Am I going to China?
Yeah, we gotta go. There's a draft. You're going to war.
I'm not doing shit. Fuck
They need
I'm Colombian.
They need a couple million people to die so
Not
that
me.
they can destroy a bunch of shit. And
No
then in 50 years, after 1 million people are out of the workforce,
Go to hell.
and everything's destroyed, it needs to be rebuilt. The new global government can
No.
bask in their warmth of 50 years of unparalleled prosperity,
Fuck you.
and the great reset will be complete.
I vote for a president, and as soon as I cast my vote, I'm like, fuck you. Seriously. Fuck
Yep.
this guy.
But there's a certain level, from our conversation, I gather, and this is, I think, endemic of the left because the people that I know on the left feel the same way. There's a certain level of like, is it wrong? Sure. But do they deserve it? Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, no, you shouldn't harass someone having a nice dinner. Don't harass, just whatever. I don't know. Politicians are reptiles to me, honestly.
Sure.
All of them.
So why do you think the left are the ones that are doing it? Do you think the right just doesn't give a shit, or they're not organized, or what? Why do you think the people that are doing the marching and all this other stuff outside of January 6th tend to be left leaning?
I mean, I wouldn't say the right isn't doing it. The right does their own thing. What's that thing called? The Proud Boys? Like, they have their own way of right harassment.
The Proud Boys. What is the Proud Boys?
Uh,
Like 13 fucking people.
neo-Nazis?
Yeah, that are almost all feds.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I don't give a
exist.
shit what they
Did
are.
you see the Nazi thing over in Tampa? Where
No, I'm not a Nazi.
No, there was like five. There was like 5 Nazis showed up at this gay rally. There was some like LGBT thing, and there was like 5 Nazis showed up, and they're like, and it was like all over the news, Nazis in Tampa. And then like one dude was like, "This is sus," and goes up and like talks to him. They're like, "Don't put my face on camera." And then they're like all wearing the same boots, but they act like they don't know each other, and they're like, "This is very."
What, do you think it's like a plan? The coup?
Very fetty. Yeah, dude. A lot of this stuff. I can't make declarative statements because that's how you get taken down. But
I can.
Isn't it interesting? Basically, the FBI admits to 2 things that should be headline news that are not headline news, and this is true. You can look them up. One, the FBI invented the kidnapping attempt against Governor Whitmer. Remember that?
Oh.
Remember when all these crazy right-wing anti-lockdown people were going to kidnap Michigan Governor Whitmer?
Yeah.
Turns out it was the FBI. Like,
Who sent him?
the FBI, like, needling these like far right-wing extremists online, like, "Hey, you know what we should do? We should kidnap Governor Whitmer." And they're like, "Yeah, we should do it." And they're like, then nothing would happen. The FBI would be like, if all we did is just like get these guns and show up to the state
Looking
house,
this
we
up.
can look at it. BuzzFeed did. Of all places, BuzzFeed did the article. The FBI tried to plan the coup so then they can stop the coup, to be like, these crazy right wingers and their lockdown hatred. They just tried to make everybody like come off like an extremist for wanting basic human rights and freedom. And then the FBI also got caught in a bribery scandal in Puerto Rico with the ex-Puerto Rican governor. So the FBI is on some wild shit lately, bro. FBI.
Federal booby investigators. Yeah, I gotta read into this. According to the affidavit, hardened terrorists or FBI. Oh wow. Well, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you know what
Fuck 'em.
Operation Northwoods is?
No.
All right, we're gonna end this soon, but look up Operation Northwoods and tell the people real quick.
Operation Northwoods.
Operation Northwoods. This is confirmed. This is not conspiracy. I don't have to say what if. This is 100% confirmed.
Okay.
Tell the people what Operation Northwoods is, David.
For the people listening at home, Operation Northwoods was a proposed false flag operation against American citizens that originated within the U.S. Department of Defense of the United States of America in 1962. The proposals called for CIA operatives to both stage and actually commit acts of terrorism against American military and civilian targets, blaming them on the Cuban government and using it to justify a war against Cuba. Oh, the possibilities detailed in the document included the possible assassination of Cuban immigrants, sinking boats of Cuban refugees on the high seas, oh my God, hijacking planes to be shot down or given the appearance of being shot down, blowing up a U.S. ship, and orchestrating violent terrorism in U.S. cities. The proposals were rejected by President John F. Kennedy.
So that started with
Holy
the
hell.
Joint Chiefs of Staff, and they wanted World War III. They wanted to go get Castro, and they wanted an impetus to get it going. And they were going to kill American citizens to do it. And that was the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Our generals came up with that idea to kill Americans so that they can go to war. Got all the way up to Kennedy's desk, and he refused to sign it at the last minute.
And the next day he was shot.
Kennedy was assassinated, wasn't he? I mean, that's not a declarative statement, YouTube. That's just a statement of fact. I'm not saying those two things are related. I'm just saying those two things happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gulf of Tonkin. Go ahead.
Gulf?
Gulf. Gulf of O-F Tonkin. Tonkin.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Gulf of Tonkin. Okay.
Tell 'em.
The Gulf of Tonkin incident by the way, it's Vietnamese, was an international confrontation that led to the United States engaging more directly in the Vietnam War. It involved both a proven confrontation on August 2nd, 1964, carried out by North Vietnamese forces in response to covert operations in the coastal region of the Gulf, and a second claimed confrontation on August 4th. Hey, it's the anniversary of it. 1964, between ships of North Vietnam and the United States in the waters of the Gulf of Tonkin. Originally, American claims blamed North Vietnam for both attacks. Later investigations revealed that the second attack never happened. The American claim that it had was based mostly on erroneously interpreted communications intercepts.
Sure.
Oof.
So we went into Vietnam over an attack that didn't happen.
And that's the one we lost.
We didn't lose, but we didn't.
Well, yeah, we didn't win either.
Yeah. So
We didn't win.
again, so when everybody keeps their Ukraine flags in their profiles and sings Kumbaya,
I saw this meme of like this kid being like,
billions and billions of dollars. They got Vogue.
Yeah, that was weird.
They got Vogue photo shoots. They got time for Sean Penn and Ben Stiller, but this is a country under siege. Give them $1 trillion, please and thank you.
Dude, that was weird. That fucking portrait.
Isn't it weird?
Fuck 'em.
Isn't it weird, David? And is it possible? Could it be that the mysterious $150 million that Beto O'Rourke got for his campaign in Texas just happens to coincide with all of this taxpayer money going to the Ukraine? That's a strange, wow, it's crazy. 150. Well, where does $150 million come from to take over Texas? I don't know. Just a donor. Huh. Strange indeed. Strange indeed, these coincidences, man.
Well, I think on that note, we're going to leave it open-ended to the people to...
Look, bro, you either have an understanding of history or you trust our government. You can't have both.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
That's it. Our government is actively working against its citizens. And this whole idea, this is why I poke so much fun at the trust the science people. Trust the science. What are you, a science denier? Trust the science. Really? Really? Give me a medicine. Give me one medicine that you know. Give me one medicine.
Tylenol.
Give me
ibuprofen.
Give me a medicine that you see on TV late at night,
Lexapro.
Lexapro. Look up the side effects of Lexapro.
Yeah, it'll make you kill yourself.
No, do it. Go ahead. Look it up.
Okay. Lexapro.
These are the side effects of Lexapro. Okay, this is an FDA-approved drug, Lexapro. What is it for, David?
Common side. Lexapro isn't it for anxiety? It's an antidepressant.
It's an antidepressant, which is weird because now they say that it's not your chemical imbalance has nothing to do, but that's wild.
Depression, mood, symptoms of depression. Okay.
So give me the side effects of Lexapro.
You get a headache, nausea, diarrhea, dry mouth, increased sweating, feeling nervous, restless, fatigue. Those are all the symptoms of depression. This might give you more depression. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just take it. Fatigue or having trouble sleeping, insomnia. These will often improve over the first week or two as you continue to take our medication. Sexual side effects, such as problems with orgasm or ejaculatory delay, often do diminish over time. Often, but not always.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's an FDA approved drug that we know. There was one back in the day I used to take all the time. Oh man, it was so good for my arm, but then it turned out it melted your organs and it got taken off the what the hell was the name of it? It was some sort of anti-inflammatory. I completely forget the name of it. The point I'm trying to make is, every time you listen to one of those late night TV commercials and you see the happy old people running around and it's some sort of heart medication, and it's like, here's Metafil and, side effects that go, random heart disease and heart attacks go up. Risk of stroke goes up by 75%. These are the ones that they approve of. We just had how many injections that we're trying to force on 5-year-olds?
Yeah.
They won't tell us what the side effects are. They won't tell us. And we can't hold them accountable. Zero liability, right? You can't sue them if anything happens to you. So if these are the drugs late at night and we know what the side effects are, and they tell us that these are the side effects, and these are the FDA approved drugs that have gone through the normal 5-year testing period, what is in these things that they're forcing people to put in their bodies?
I'll let you know in a couple of years.
There we go. So trust the science, kiss my ass. Trust the government, kiss my ass even more. You either know history or you trust our government. That's it. There is no in between.
Well, I do have to go because I have a booster shot appointment.
It's been nice knowing you, buddy.
Hey, I hate to cut you off.
But you didn't know what Operation Northwoods is, right?
No.
You know what
I
the Tuskegee experiment is?
Tuskegee experiment.
Do you know what that one is?
No.
Go ahead, Tuskegee experiment.
Oof. Something you guys will find out in a couple years. Gerard is actually a vampire, and he was part of all of these things.
I told you that in confidence. Now I got to kill you.
Tuskegee? How
Yep.
do you even spell that?
Tuskeegee.
Tuskegee. There we go.
Yep.
Syphilis?
Well, let's talk about it. Let's go. Tuskegee experiment. Tell me, baby.
Okay, here we go. Tuskegee experiment.
Yep.
Let's go to good old... Ooh, should we trust the CDC?
No.
It's not giving me a wiki page. Let me look it up. I'll just go straight up wiki. Here we go.
Dinger0077 says, understand that greed and most government systems coincide, and that's why they can't hold up. Communism is just too hypocritical.
Oh, there's a word here I can't say, Gerard. The Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male was a study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the United States Public Health Service and the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, on a group of nearly 400 African Americans with syphilis. The purpose of the study was to observe the effects of the disease when untreated, though by the end of the study, medical advancements meant it was entirely treatable. The men were not informed of the nature of the experiment, and more than 100 died as a result. So it was 400 they tested, and 100 of them died.
Yeah.
The Public Health Service study.
When was that? I'd love to know. Look at the. You know how to check when things were edited on Wikipedia?
Yeah, I believe.
When was the last edited? Go to its last edit.
View history.
Yep. Because they're leaving out a very, very important part that I know for a fact used to be in there.
June 21st, 2020.
June 21st, 2020 is the last time it was edited?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Well, here's what they're not telling you, bro.
Well, I mean, it might be further down the article.
Those people were injected with syphilis. They didn't have it. They were being told that they were being inoculated.
Yeah. I think here the health started. think it says here, of these men, 399 had latent syphilis with a control group of 201 men who were not infected. As an incentive for participation in the study, the men were promised free medical care. While the men were provided with both medical and mental care that they otherwise would not have received, they were deceived by the PHS, who never informed them of their syphilis diagnosis.
There it is.
And provided disguised placebos,
That's right.
effective methods, and diagnostic procedures as treatment for quote-unquote bad blood.
Yeah, they gave them the disease and then didn't treat it just to see what would happen. They said they were getting inoculated. Trust the science. Our government. Look up Bill Gates. Vaccine
I know
India.
who that is.
Bill Gates, Vaccine India. He killed an entire village. Allegedly.
Oh, shit.
Allegedly.
Bill Gates.
Village, India, death, vaccine. Vaccines are good. Vaccines are great. Everything about YouTube and vaccines is phenomenal. You should get them. Everybody should get as many of them as possible at all times. Trust everything science.
Do we trust thediplomat.com?
Sure, of course.
Okay. Why are Indians so angry at Bill Gates?
This is from The Diplomat. This is not us. We're reading an article from The Diplomat.
Gates has also been criticized by Indian farmer groups who have been protesting on the border of the national capital of New Delhi for 6 months. The farmers are protesting against controversial laws promoting privatization of agriculture passed by the Hindu nationalist government, and they see Gates as supporter of such efforts.
Well, hold on. Let's stop there. This is a completely different issue.
Yeah,
Why is
yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Gates buying up farmland all over the world? Bill Gates and China own massive amounts of farmland in America. Why are they building all this stuff? Well, that'll have to wait for another week. So
Yeah.
the point is here, right?
Oh, here. I mean, I found something from Reuters. False claim: Bill Gates faces trial in India for testing vaccines on children.
Okay.
Some iterations of the claim titled Bill Gates faces trial can be seen here. A spokesperson for Gates Foundation confirmed to Reuters via email that the allegations in the claim are false. There is no pending lawsuit against Gates or his foundation in relation to this. The vaccine trial in question was not illegal, though it was later halted and has been the source of controversy in
No,
India.
let's stop there. Hold on. This is perfect. This is a perfect example of the fact check. This is a perfect example of propaganda. False claim. You would think by reading that headline what? That he didn't do it, right?
Right.
But what's the actual false claim? There's no lawsuit.
Yeah, there's no lawsuit.
He did it,
There's just no lawsuit.
and the trials were halted.
Yeah.
But there's no lawsuit. So, nope. Fact check says this is false, ultra false.
Technicalities.
And everybody that vox with AOC with her hands behind her back, and then millions of people retweet and go, see, you stupid conspiracy theorist, see, it never happened. No. The lawsuit didn't happen.
Yeah. But it did happen.
But this dude killed those kids.
So
allegedly, maybe.
Yeah, the study was canceled in 2010 following local media reports highlighting the death of 7 girls taking part. Science magazine reported that investigations carried out by a committee designated by the Indian government later determined the deaths were unrelated to the vaccine demonstration.
Yep.
5 were evidently unrelated to the vaccine. 1 girl drowned in a quarry. Another died from a snake bite. 2 committed suicide by investigating pesticides. And 1 died from one complication of malaria. The causes of death for the 2 other girls were less certain.
So interesting that we have the nuance there. But if all those people died during COVID 2 years ago or even a year ago, they'd be listed as COVID deaths.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, man. All I'm trying to get across here is you're being lied to. Do your own research. Everything's being manipulated. You are being manipulated. You are not being told the truth. You are being sold a truth. And if you believe what you're seeing, reading, or hearing, part of the problem, folks.
Yeah.
And I to circle all the way back to the beginning, I think this really started as a coordinated global effort by the Illuminati in 2008.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
The Illuminati?
It's the World Economic Forum.
Fuck off, Mike.
Why?
I come off it. The Illuminati. As soon as someone mentions the Illuminati, I'm like,
What do you think? What do you think the Illuminati is?
I don't know. Fucking YouTube gibberish. I don't know.
Okay. It's so the colloquialism for the global hegemony. All right. So Yeah, isn't it possible? I'm sorry, I've been speaking in declarative statements again. Point is, this is all coming from somewhere, and that's where it's coming from. And the second aspect of it becomes we have to understand our own discomfort with discomfort and actively pursue things and information that makes us uncomfortable from sources that we're not actively pursuing. Right? If we just stay in our comfort zones, if we just seek and stay in our bubbles, we become low-hanging fruit that are easily to get picked. Right? That's a doable. That is an easily doable change that we can all do. That's something that we can all encourage each other to do.
Yeah.
And by listening to this podcast, you've taken your first step towards doing it. I am Gerard Michaels. This is the As Unyet Named podcast with producer Kami Dave.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Check out one of the shows. They're much more funny than this. And yeah, I'll see you live. Follow us on all the socials while we're still up, and we will see you soon.